Hello, everyone. Quick stream, I hope. I just want to say a few things. I do, well, I've had so many videos, but as always, I say too much and I don't put them out. I just want to say to Craig, you may be right, but you found nothing. And, at some point that'll be proven in the near future, I suppose. But, well, that was quick. Hi, NFJ, how you doing? To Nomadic, he asked if the poem had been solved. I believe it's been, I believe it's been solved. There's somebody, in the chase community that has answers to all the questions, and that's part of what this is about. Hey, Redneck, how you doing? And Amy, wow, perfect timing. Oh, not often I get that said. Yeah, there's information that you can find in the poem. Oh, firstly, a message from our sponsors. Major FORREST FENN wishes to tell you that you should go and watch the film Outlaws. I think that will give you some idea about things are not what they seem and how things, pan out, even though the events look random and they don't seem to piece together. So you don't have to watch it. It's no skin off my nose, but it was just a message from the sponsor of the poem that I do that. That's what it says. It actually says that you all went AWOL as far as the solve goes, and he went alone in there, and if you only have one soul, so did you, is what the poem says. And he put the souls below there. Those that went alone in there went AWOL, and those who followed in the footprint had many souls with many answers and a story and a quest and history in the Southwest. Good time, I just got off work. Oh, I'm doing well today then. Captain Kidd? Uh-oh. I have to ask you that though, don't I? I have to ask you, did you find the treasure? It says in the book that you weren't sure. So did you find it? I already know that movie well. Oh, great, good. Then if anybody wants to know, then Amy will help you understand, I think, the message that Forrest is trying to get across. And it's not my suggestion. I don't care if you watch it. It's in the poem. If you want to, it actually is at the point that it says I must go. So if you look in that area, you will see that I must go is most of it. And then it says go watch the movie Outlaws. And it's given to me because it's part of the solve, apparently. It's actually the solve that you people have. I look at it like this. What's most logical? Be honest, because Forrest is honest in the poem. He tells you right where you are about his honesty and him being honest. But be honest. If someone tells you there needs to be a solution to something, there has to be a solution to something that they have. And 10, 20, 30, 40, however many solvers there are, come running up and say, I have the answer. And they're all different. Every answer is different. And one person comes up and says, I have all the answers. Who would you listen to? Would you listen to one person that says, well, I have all the answers, there's more than one answer? Or would you listen to the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, however many people solve the poem? They all have a different answer to it. Who would you listen to? Who would you believe? Is it possible that this poem that needs a correct answer solely one answer that tells you everything? Is it more believable to think that one person found one answer that tells you everything, or that all those people have lots of different answers that they can't prove? Amazes me. But if you get time, go watch the movie Outlaws, it says. I think you should. I read it. It was good. I tried to listen to Misfortune podcast, but yeah. And so there is one or two things, or there are one or two things in there that are interesting. Easily. Yeah, that helps with the stuff that I do as well, Redneck. I suggest that people watch it at, a faster speed. And some of the music that Rick Novak puts out is good at time and a half as well. Yeah, he's probably a deep thinking searcher using logic. That's what they do. So the first message was to Craig. He's right. But he says he found something that he didn't. So, I was just putting a message out to him to say the information's readily available for when you are, maybe February time. I read that, so we're good. What else was I going to say? Done the story, done the quest, done the his story in the Southwest, done the movie. So in the poem, Major Forrest Fen can be found quite easily if you start with the 9 clues. And all of the information, not all the information, precise information tells you how to understand the poem. And I did a video, but I don't want to put it out because I got a bit offensive, I suppose, because I was saying it was beyond stupidity that people don't hear the logical sides of things. And then, hey pirate, how you doing? To you. I hope you like the screenshot, whatever they call it, title page of the Outlaws with the skull and crossbones and the cowboy hat. Tried to mix it all up. I have no questions in the chase. I'm not bothered what people say, what comes up, and normally whatever comes up, I have an understanding of why that is. And I suppose if you watch the film, you might not be quick to judge. I understand 2010 that Granny was talking about. I understand the court stuff that Capo's talking about. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense because you don't know the answer. And it's only when you know the answer that it makes sense. The clues are there, as the film will show you. The clues are there, you just haven't noticed them. And then when you put them all together, it does make sense. And you realise that you were going the wrong way. You had the wrong answers. Even though they seemed like the right answers at the time, absolutely they were the wrong answers. Hey Nikki, how you doing? And 5. I come in peace. I accept you in peace, and I don't want to fall out with no one. I'm bothered. I'm just trying to be as honest as I can, and I don't care who did this. I honestly don't. FORREST FENN, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. Every time I think about it, it sort of sets me back because I just don't know how he did it. I look at it, I tell myself it's impossible. I tell myself there's no way, and I tell Davey, I mean, he's sick of me telling him. It's not possible. A poem is not possible. It is not possible. Right? In 100 years, with sophisticated AI and all sorts of IT technology, maybe, to get the amount of information that is in that poem. I only talk about the chase and that, but there's stuff in there that I don't think the CIA and the FBI and the feds and whoever, all those services, know. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And it doesn't matter if he's CIA, and it doesn't matter if he's DB Cooper, and none of it matters. What matters is he did this poem. He did it. And he sat up the front of the chase. And by all accounts, he had a partner who is dead. Because two could keep a secret if one of them is dead. And now we're at the point where two are dead, if we're led to believe the script. But this happening, this, can I make it happen? Not possible. I don't believe it's possible. Yeah, I don't use those sort of things. Do you have the peace pipe? It was Sitting Bulls. It was worth $1 million, apparently. It doesn't matter. So even that statement, if you're walking through the desert and you need a drink of water, how much is a bottle of water worth to you? How much is it worth? You're walking through the desert, you need a drink. How much is a bottle of water worth to you? If you don't have a drink, you're going to die. What would you pay? How much is it worth? Is it worth $1? Is it worth $10? Is it worth $20? Is it worth $100? Is it worth $1,000? What's it worth to you? What are you willing to pay for a bottle of water? So if FORREST FENN says it's worth $1 million, in his opinion, it's worth $1 million. Who gives a monkeys? That doesn't mean it's fraud. That just means his opinion of it, it's worth $1 million, or he's trying to say something else. But why people have to, be on the defensive and slate people and try and find issue with it? FORREST has never denied the fact that he sold fake things. He's never denied that. And he's never denied that he wasn't the best smoozer. And people are going out of their way to try and prove that he's this really bad person. But he's told you, we're not all perfect. And he said, you don't have to tell all the truth. That says I'm not perfect. He says he doesn't break the rules, but he likes to bend them. That says he's not perfect. So why are you trying to, knock the person that he's already told you the type of person that he is? And none of us are perfect. Have some weed. Hey Tim, how you doing? It's good to see you here. Something that's only worth what someone else has been to pay for it. Exactly. You know what I mean? 100%. Absolutely. But you're allowed to believe it's worth whatever you think it's worth. If you're walking through the desert, coming the other way to that person who wants a drink, you're allowed to believe it's worth 300 million. You're allowed to believe that. And you're allowed to say to that person who needs a drink, otherwise they're going to die, this bottle of water that I have in my hand is worth $300 million. Do you want it? Do you want it? Or do you want to die? You're allowed to think what you want. And you're allowed to say what you want. And yes, it's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. But you can have a value on that piece, bearing in mind what you're looking at. You're looking at someone who's going to die if they don't have a bottle of water. There you go. It's worth 300 million. Want to buy one? Will you give a month yet, Mario? I think I just did at the beginning of this. I just said to Craig that he found nothing. And, he'll know in February why I say that. So I thought I did give a month. I thought that was a definite month that I gave. There isn't anything in the poem that I haven't seen. And there isn't anything in the thread of the chase or, in the public that I haven't seen. Well, I say that. Things that I've found in the poem correspond to things that I know that happen generally. Maybe there's something I haven't seen in the poem that doesn't happen generally. Yeah, unless I didn't say it, unless I just talked about Craig. But yeah, February was what I was talking about. But the point was to say, Craig says he found something. And he's making out he's, something that he's not. And in February, maybe March, he'll find out. I think I was... It might be me, INFJ. I might have, talked about one part of it and not said all of it. So thanks for saying that, just in case I didn't. I give them the bottle of water for free. Ask you what else I did to help. Absolutely, Redneck. Yeah, you're right. But I had to make, I had to make up something that people can understand. Yeah, you wouldn't charge anybody for a drink of water in the middle of the desert. But I was just trying to get across the point that you're allowed to say and do whatever you think. You should be criticised for it. Try to ridicule him because he said it's worth $1 million, and he didn't get $1 million for it. I don't get that. I don't get that. So there is a movie called The Outlaws. You should never have gone alone in there. Craig should never have gone past the home of Brown. The souls are under there. I've got the soul and the many souls in the poem. So from there are the many solves that you can do, including the sonnet. And then as Forrest went alone, they're alone. Underneath there's the word alone. And the word alone that Forrest uses in the poem, he is going to destroy something in order. So FF stands for forest fire. He's going to go through it like a forest fire. And then the rebirth, is going to be something amazing. And it's not possible. I think about it each time. Some of the stuff that I saw and some of the stuff that I see. I said to David the other day, I think he might be getting peed with me. I don't want to read the poem anymore. Because I'm scared I might see, and I've said this before, I'm scared I might see something that I don't want to see. Because, I don't know, it's like it's alive. It seems to change to whatever you need, whatever's topical, to tell you to go and watch a movie called The Outlaws. And you're told that because it's part of the solve, it's connected to the solve. And it actually is. That's scary. That's scary. It's like, not is it scary that he did that, but it's scary that I saw it and I did it. That's what's scary. I read it and go, oh, what's this film, The Outlaws? And then you think about what The Outlaws is about, and then you go, oh, that sounds like Forrest Fenn talking. Now, I know it's not, and I know Forrest had no input in that movie, but it's like, Why is it in the poem? Why is it saying that everybody went AWOL, and didn't understand this chaos stuff? And why is it with the soul? And why is it under the blaze? It's like, I don't know. I don't know how he did it. And it's scary. It's like you read it and it just says, it's like you need the answer to a question, and he says, here's the answer you're looking for. And you think, well, how did you know that I wanted that answer? How did you know that I wanted to, or how did you know I was going to be in that frame of mind to even pick up on this information? And I said to Dave, it seems like the more I read the poem, the more I think I was writing it, because it just seems alive, and it's horrible, but it's good. Retracted. I was convinced I hated my poem work. It not only saw and understood multiple sides, and it should do. It should do. Hey Zozo, how you doing? Thanks. What for? I haven't done anything yet. Fist bump going on there. I don't know what you're thanking for. But like I say to Nomadic asked, is the poem solved? I think the poem's been solved, to the nth degree. I really do. I don't think there's... No, that's wrong. There's plenty more in the poem that can be solved. So there's promise of new discoveries, stuff like that. So there's plenty more in there. But I'm talking about relevant to the time that we're in. There's not much more time to go. So the information that's available in the time that we've got to go, I think, you certainly don't need to know any more information. Some dotted I's and T's, but then there's still a future of stuff that, probably can be found in there. So I don't feel, whoever the solver is, I don't feel that they need to know how this is going to happen, what the stumbling blocks are, what the possibilities are. I think those possibilities are known. It's just something makes it happen, and that's the end or the beginning, depending on how you look at it. I can't get my head around how it was done. I can't get my head around why it was done. I can't get my head around that it was done, or that he did think of everything. Having a book that Douglas Preston puts out and says 2010 and other references to 2010, because that makes sense as everything moves forward legally, I suppose. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And why probate didn't end, crazy. Just when FORREST started this 30 years ago, thinking of all these things that are happening. And, I was talking to Davey and say, you can believe it, but you can't understand it, because if FORREST predicted all of this, then when he spoke to people in 2010, his statement in 2010 could have been a statement for 2015 or 2019 or for 2022, because the poem is talking about the future. So everything that FORREST said at some point could have been in reference to what was going to happen and not what is happening. Could be a reference to somebody in the future and not somebody in the present, because the information in the poem is talking about now. He's talking about somebody now in the poem. So if he knew, who's there? Hi, Grandma. If he knew Grandma Glenna, about her, him, however I don't know, because I don't know if, with these just chat names, I don't know who they are. And he talked about that person in 2010. You wouldn't understand it until you got to this point in time, and then it'd sink in. Something that was planned before it happened. I already found the end of your solve. Why didn't you ask me? I'd have told you where the end of your solve is. I want to know how to pick up this way. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Well, by all accounts, well, no, I don't suppose it would be there. Although, the place takes, has an important role. Washington has an important role. You might be able to go there and get something. Maybe I could save my dying stage. You just asked me to unplug. See, this is where the chase gets crazy. I don't know if this is real information I should feel, sorry for you, or whether it's chase information and I should wonder who that person is. And if it's real, I feel sorry for you and for them. Thanks, Nikki. He knows I know. What that is. Chasing. Again, as I just said to 5, I don't know if it's scripted to make things happen or these events are real. And, my heart goes out to family, friends of those people if these events are real. But it's hard to know anymore because nothing is as it seems. So, I don't know. I don't, touch wood and I pray, and I don't mean to offend anybody in the FORREST FENN family. I don't believe Forrest is dead. I don't believe that's the case. I don't. And it's hard to believe that Frank would post those pictures, or it's got nothing to do with the poem. It won't. If he spent as much time solving the poem as he does, rooting around in other people's lives, he probably would have solved the poem if it's real. But it's hard to believe that it's real, and it's only part of the story. And I might have it all, wrong, and these bits of information don't really marry up. Yeah. If you, I don't know. Forrest said you're not going to stumble on it. I don't know how many times I'll probably tell you the same story. If I'm standing on that hill, if I think about that moment, I know nobody ever anywhere found that chest in the way that I was looking for it. No one. I do not care who you are. If you went into the Rocky Mountains and you searched for a chest, or you thought you had to search for a chest, or you were going to find a chest in the Rocky Mountains, just sitting there waiting for you. No. And again, I don't know whether it's staged or not, but no, no. You could walk past that chest, and then not 20 minutes later, somebody could find it. If it was out in the Rocky Mountains, anywhere. Anywhere people were likely to go, it's going to get found. Certainly by somebody like Forrest, who doesn't stay on trail, who just wanders. So one person wandering through any part of the Rocky Mountains could find that chest. And that null and voids the statement, you are not going to stumble on it. Now you factor into the fact that anybody wandering can stumble on it, then there's an impossibility there that Forrest is correct, and he's always correct. So the statement is to make sure that you know nobody who solves my poem from beginning where warm waters halt to take the chest and go in peace is going to solve it. No one. No one who does that. It doesn't matter how they solve it. If there's a chest in the Rocky Mountains for them to go and walk to, no. No, because it's in a safe place. Those are his words. And if you walk past the home of Brown, you went too far. Those are his words. And they are precise words to the letter. And I don't see how people don't see that. I don't see how he tells people, don't go where a 79 or 80-year-old man won't go. Here he is, this 79 or 80-year-old man, and he says, don't go past the home of Brown. So he didn't. He wouldn't go past that. He told you that. He said no one's going to stumble on that chest. He knows no one's going to stumble on it because he goes off trail. So it means he's put it somewhere. Nobody's going to stumble on it. No one. Nobody's going to stumble on it. Ever going to stumble on it. You're never going to stumble on it. You are going to have to know where it is, and you're going to have to go to it, which means it's in a safe place. If people don't want to understand that, there's nothing I can do about that. I believe you're brave to say it. It is one of the craziest stories or not. Well, maybe, that's part of the poem. But I haven't done it to be brave. I haven't done it to be anything. I've done it, to help Forrest. The most important thing, the most important reason, not to help me. I've retired now. I'd like to have money, absolutely, 100%. But the reason I started this was so as I could retire from work. But I've retired now, so that reason's gone. So A, it was to help Forrest. B, it was to stop people slating him and saying that this was a shit show when it's not. It's not. And he is not a fraud. This happening that he wants to make happen is really happening. It's really happening. And it's so big you wouldn't believe it. And there's more to this part of it. There's more to come. Absolutely more to come. And, it's two ideas. It's not one idea. It's two ideas mixed into one. And then it's other big events that, in any normal world, you'd be thinking, wow, look at that. Look what's happened there. Yes, Redneck, I believe that's the case. But, so why is it that I must go? He says in the poem he was going because he was 90. That's what it says, 90. You can write a book about 90. I must go at 90. The whole poem talks about prediction. It's either predicted or scripted. I don't know. I know that's amazing. Hi, Tigger. How's it doing? Hi, Luli. Good to see you, both of you. I don't know why Troy's having a go at you. I don't understand it, Luli. And I don't understand why people have a go at each other about, half the stuff they do. It doesn't make any sense. And then he's very blog and stream, but I had to deny myself that. No, he wouldn't. Oh, he is hiding. I can only go by what the poem says to me. I believe, very much that this was planned. I don't understand the mechanics of it. But I just, to me, I understand why people say don't say things. In a way, it's frustrating, and in a way, I just think, are these people really not, picking up on this? 1988. If he started it in 1988, he was nearly 60. I wonder if I'm going to get to 70. He didn't hide it until he was 79 or 80. And if he spent 15 years on it, if you're going to spend that much time on something, you're going to get to the other end. What's the point of starting a 15-year project if you're not going to finish it? There is no point doing what he did. Excuse me. Absolutely no point in doing what he did in the mind of a mortal person or someone who didn't know they were going to live. And he talked about the extra year, and he talked about 90. So I 100% believe he knew that he was going to make this happen. He knew he was going to achieve something. The only thing that he probably didn't know is whether someone would F it up. Yeah, I don't mind, it. I don't see it as flack. I don't know whether it's scripted or predicted, and it doesn't matter. If people really feel the way they do, then they're not listening to what Forrest said. And I can't help that. And if that's the way they feel, that's the way they feel. I didn't do this to get subscribers. I didn't do it to get friends. I did it first and foremost for FORREST FENN. Then, well, first and foremost, it was because he was getting flack. It was because people were slating him. So that's why I started doing these videos. To say to people, look, if you just do these sort of things, then you will have information and it won't bother you. It won't bother you about what's happening in the chase because it's not real. It's not real. And at that point, when it's not real, whilst it's frustrating because you're not sure how much of it is real and how much of it isn't, 85% and 15%, and bending rules, and you don't have to tell the whole truth, all these things that he said. So there's still that element of doubt. And then he says, don't trust anyone. So, I'm thinking, well, who am I supposed to tell the information I have if I can't trust anyone? And you're the person saying don't trust anyone. So can I trust who you are? But even if you had a soul 3 years ago, chase doesn't end then. It doesn't end with the chest. It doesn't. It's that simple. It doesn't end with the chest. If you think this is strange, you should watch Jonathan Grant and learn about the Yeah, when these people start doing those things, I have to believe that it's not scripted. Frank, putting out that video, I have no idea what possesses anybody to do that unless they are told to do it. And the thing with Frank is, I'm a Christian person. What Christian person does something like that? What Christian person digs into the life of a veteran, even true or not, it doesn't matter. But the mentality of that person who is supposed to be a Christian does this thing, this strange thing, doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And if they believe that when you pass, you go to God, why would he put a picture of somebody who's passed, who is now with God and has no relevance to this earth? Why would you do? I don't know. I don't watch many. Davey watches the videos and he tells me some stuff. But, some of what Dave says is very relevant with recent events, not in the chase, but, in the outside world. So I don't know. Excuse me. Yeah, I say hi, Forrest. As I speak to Forrest, I look in the poem. I don't. You can't put it past him. If anyone doesn't believe it, then you don't know Forrest Fenn. It's that simple. You don't know him. The fan crime. Shargo's just a puppet in the chase, puppet theatre. Someone has been. Yeah, and that's the frustrating thing. I know that that's the case, but then you hear and see people getting upset by it, and that's the bit that's frustrating. Did this person really get upset, or is it just part of the theatre? Was Indy really upset that Shy Guy went into a private information, put it all over? Did Ashley really get drugged? Those things. Was there really a SWAT team? So there's information that can relate to the poem, and you can just look at it and go, oh, it's in the poem, so it's just saying, here we are, this is the point that we're at in the chase. Like, go and watch the Outlaws video. Outlaws movie, sorry, it says. Basically says, if you have this solved, you go AWOL, and, go watch the Outlaws movie. Can't get any clearer than that. So, I've come on here to say to people, go watch the Outlaws movie. It's a message from Forrest, from the sponsor of the poem. The person that gave us the poem says, go watch the movie. And, it's very much not chase related, but you can see the chase in that movie. 100%. 100%. A random movie that the poem says, go watch. Go figure. It would have been easier for Fan to tell the front in 2010 and not solve this, but never. Well, he did. He said 100 times, I would tell nobody. I wouldn't even tell my mother. And then, later on, you got things like shut up. And the thing is, if you solve it, it's not worth telling no one. Because nothing you can do about it. It'll end when something ends it. That's pretty much don't tell no one. And in the poem in 2010, you're told, go in peace. Shut the fuck up, go in peace. You find a chest. Go in peace. Wait until, the braving in the wood, worth the cold. I mean, you're saying there are no pre-clues, but the there, as I've gone alone in there, is a 3. And under that is old. And the 3 makes cold. So that makes it's worth the cold. The fact that C is 3, that makes it worth it. And that that A is 1, because 9 is I. And A is 1 because you go with your own bias. So he's already told you within the first 3 lines of the first 2 lines of the poem, that 10 is J and X, that I is 9, that C is 3, A is 1. So there's a substitution cipher in there already before you start, before you do anything else. So I don't know. There's plenty of it. Shifting, drifting, adjusting is exactly what I do. One foot on the other. If you look at too far to walk, there's a foot there. If you look at for the meek, there's a foot there, and there's another foot. There's three foot. I can't remember the other one. It's there somewhere. Too far to walk. Oh, it's going backwards. Homer Brown going to to walk. So too far is a foot. To walk and of is a foot, and a foot for the meek. 3 foot. And guess what it says? All of them foot, it says on the other. So he put 1 foot on the other. It's like, he can't make it any easier than that. Read the poem. Look at it, how I do it, and read it, and you'll see foot on the other. and you'll see the word step. Put a foot down, step on it. It's like he gives you the information, the clues, the hints in the book will help you with the clues in the poem. And I told you the other day about the memory, his awareness. It's in the poem. As you read it, one foot on the other, continuous, contiguous, chronological. There's nothing difficult about it. Well, it's difficult, but there's nothing difficult to understand what he's saying. Please touch. He's told you to take out the spaces. Don't step on a crack. He's told you. As you go through the chase, he tells you all this information. Read it over and over. Read the book. Well, the information in the book is in the poem. I told my mother and father I'm going outside for elbow room. It's in the poem. Those interviews that he did, even to have to share it with my brother, it's in the poem. In the poem, it says, in the first stanza, that you have to recite the poem backwards while shaking his hand. That's what it says. The clowns entertain the crowd between the acts. I missed that bit at the top. Crap, I miss those things. America is a mirror of Israel. Shark is a demon. See, I don't understand I understand. I don't know if these are real statements because people believe that what he's saying is and what he's doing is bad, or whether they're just, playing the game. Yeah, and me too. And it upsets me that other people are upset because I think it's supposed to be scripted. I don't believe that Forrest is dead. So seeing that makes me believe that Forrest is part of it and wants to get information out, or they're making something up. It's like I don't get it. And there's no need for it. I don't think there's any need for it. There's no need for any more information. It's not going to help anybody because the information that's been put out, nobody believes. Thanks for the hearts. Chicago went too far. A couple of us working in the case. Yeah, that's the bit that I don't understand, why people go too far and why they feel the need that information has to come out and why they feel the need that they need to hurt people or stomp on them or make them feel stupid or, it's nearly at the end, and to keep saying that, someone is incorrect and that their solve is stupid and, all those things. It's like, I don't get it. There's no need for it. But, excuse me, if it's nearly over, there's no entertaining to be done. You can just talk about the chase. Don't get the, it might, get 10, 20, 34 more people watching, but I think when it ends, there'll be enough people watching anyway. Yeah, I've been doing this for 4 years and I've tried to pinpoint who people are, as I'm going along to see if these people are really good people or bad people. Pre-clues are everywhere, especially in his first 2 books. Yeah, I only had the first book, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people are saying. I bet they didn't even read the vignette about Minerva. I bet they didn't even do that. Yes, INFJ, 100%. I did a video, but I didn't put it out. But I've said that there's 2 souls that these people could have found. They say they found 1 in that area, but there's 2. Now that is one of them. 100%. That bit there, I wish I could have lived to do. That's the solve in itself. Whether that's me or anyone, that Forrest ended this in such a way to completely give Solver no help whatsoever. See, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's ended. And, I think if there's a solver out there, they've got every hope that Forrest did it. Without, without me or anyone effing it up. This is the only way he couldn't be stopped before he proved it. You need some plants and some plants. Yeah, maybe next time. 4 years ago, the bad axes were 100%. They would stiff the solver by last summer. They started infighting and now they are going insane like demon possessed, swallowing themselves into the sea. There is absolutely no reason to show the pictures. The information you can put out, you don't need to show the picture. Forrest hasn't got a scar on his right side or his left side. I have pictures to prove it. That's it. That's all you need to do. I know everyone will start moaning, but then you give those pictures individually to those people. Don't stream them all over YouTube. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? And even if it is chasing and it's there for a reason, blah, blah, blah. No. I don't think anyone is hard. I think he had to do it this way. It's the only way. And that's what I said. The puppet master and the wizard. The doing the magic and not manipulating it, maneuvering people to do what it is that you need done. People think that they have a solve because they solved it. They didn't have the solve because Forrest gave them. He gave them the lure. They latched onto it, and they won't let it go. Nobody solved anything. I haven't solved anything. If I am the solver, I didn't solve anything. I was told by FORREST FENN the same as everybody else. The information everybody has got was given to them by Forrest. Depending on the information you believed would depend on the solve that you got. The solve I got by listening to Forrest is totally different than other people's. But Forrest absolutely gave everybody the solve. The solve that they've got, he gave people. And Troy is testament to that. Troy said he felt Forrest gave Sam the solve. And Troy is also testament to the fact that it can't be correct because 3 people doing the same solve went to different places. How is that correct? How can you get different information from a perfect solve? It's beyond me that people believe what they believe. And I know that it could be scripted, and I know that, they're told to say these things. But it's like, no one's going to believe it. It's not worth saying because no one's going to believe it if it is scripted. And if it's not scripted, what are you doing? What are you doing? Absolutely sorry, so disrespected. I just... See you in a bit, Tigger. Say hello to Mum. Well, he did say don't pay any bets yet. 5 leaf. If somebody says to you don't pay a bet, it's because it isn't finished. It isn't finished. You can't pay bet. You can't pay bets until it's finished, and you can't collect your reward until the race finishes. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because you cross the line first. Doesn't mean you get your medal. You get your medal when the race is finished and you all go on the podium. And you're nowhere near the podium yet because the race isn't finished. So whilst you're the winner, you have to wait. Put the blanket around, just sit there waiting. Be miserable and whatever, but you have to wait till the slowest one turns up. Actually, that's meant you to go to be too simple. Yeah, I don't know anything about that because I don't follow it. Hi, Mario, who's upset? And the pictures that Frank put out, just, there's no need for it. You just tell people, I have pictures that proves that what Forrest said is not correct. If people want to see it, send them the pictures. Don't put them out on YouTube. Hi, back. Nothing is as it seems. I don't know how simple that is not. Like it's... Why don't people understand that? Why do people not understand nothing is as it seems? Why do people not understand words don't mean what you think they do? They make an argument about the things that have been said, even though they're told, well, they probably don't mean what you think it says. Why are you arguing about it? You unless you are in Forest Footprints, unless you understand what's trying to be achieved, unless you understand all the things that took place, you can't make a judgment. You can only have an opinion, and therefore there's no point falling out. I don't get it. What's the point of falling out? You're arguing your opinion against somebody else's opinion. And I told you about, or I think I have, there's loads of videos. Excuse me. You don't know your multiplication table until you do it. When the teacher says, "Hi class, we did the multiplication table today," then you know the multiplication table exists. You don't know it all. And it's like people will argue the case that they do. And it's like, what? You don't know 7 billion times 395,000. Nobody does. Not just, well, some people might, but I don't know. Ooh. MJ, people mention Shy Guy posting to. Yeah, they're just crazy. Just no need for it. Hope so, because it seems all fucked up. Yeah. Please, Forrest is alive and secluded away. Absolutely. He could be in the, under the tunnel in the other house, for all we know. That in itself, the fact that Shiloh stage, very good maker. Yeah. The prediction and the scripting in the chase. There must be a reason why those photos were put out. Again, chasing whoever, Forrest. It's like the information comes out and people don't believe it. Now, I believe that Forrest is still alive. So if that picture was taken of Forrest, then Forrest must have okayed it. But it's a distressing photo, and you have to wonder why it was done if Forrest is still alive. And it's a crazy game that people are playing, but some people get upset by what's going on. And it doesn't matter who it is, seeing that image, thinking of that, being someone waiting. I mean, that statement where the end is ever drawing nigh, that's the fork in the road. And that's Peggy waiting in the poem. You can read it. The statement is there. You can read it. As long as you understand, A is 1, you can read it. Okay, so fun as usual. I have a feeling she did pass. Yeah, that makes me sad. I have to say, rest in peace, Peggy. How's the future going? Davey B's here. I didn't know he was here. Hey, Davey. I didn't know you were in. Yeah, it's no good. And it's going on. Anything I should be aware of? Haha, next time we're always in a 2-digit times 3-digit multiplication and give 10 seconds. I'll give the answer. I know, but can you say your multiplication table is what I'm saying? Like, there's information in the chase that Forrest says, I didn't know the person that solved my, my poem. Like, at what point do you say you know something? Just like a human being, the fact that you know the name, does that mean you know them? Or does it have to be something more? And then at what point do you say you know that person? So you can know of that person because you've heard the name, you've had an email. It's more likely to say you know them if you met them face to face, saw them at Fembury. So all those people claiming to be the solver, Forrest is saying, if I met you face to face, you're not the solver. It's that simple. It's that simple. I met you face to face. I know you, and I can pick you out in a crowd. I know you. I don't know anything about you, but I know you. Just like I know the multiplication table exists because my teacher told me there is a multiplication table. But I don't know what 1 times 1 is, 2 times 2 is, 3 times 3 is. Until you have that meeting of 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. Oh, now I know. So You will see when you get there. But is there anything to be aware of? It's good to have you anyway, Dave. Yes, all multiplication table now. Seriously, you might want to run the phone stuff you're talking about through. I don't need to. I have me on. I don't need to. There's an end to the chase coming up that doesn't need any confirming from anyone. Well, it doesn't need confirming. The answers are the answers. I suppose if you want to say it needs confirming, then FORREST or somebody who can keep a secret could confirm it. But I think the event itself will confirm anything you need to know. Bill Gorman does not agree with you in the sense that I am starting to think you are not in the future. Oh, don't kid yourself, Zozo. I'm into March now. I'm into March. That's a possibility. I don't think it should be. I don't think we need to go to March, but it's a possibility. I am here with you, and yet I am 12 hours ahead of time. 12 hours? I thought you were more than that. Oh no, you're half a day. I am here. I know. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Did you get the chest? And did you get hold of Grandma Glenna? Was it Grandma Glenna who was looking for you? Someone was looking for you. You left them hanging. Does anyone remember 2018, 2019? Well, interdimensionals who were involved in the Earth's... No, before my time, I think. Well, I say before my time, before I actually watched all of the YouTubers. All good, man. I hope you are great. I'm glad you're back, safe and sound, out of the crap weather that's over there. Rob as well. Where did Rob come in? How are these people sneaking in? I don't even know they're here. Hi, Rob. Can't see Rob. Rob, if you're here, hi. I didn't see your name come through. It's good to have you here. He's a player. Linda, using real names. What's going on? I see Robbie. I have to ask him. Rob, why do you spell it Robbery G instead of Robert? I know the Y's next to it, but you must know by now that it's not Robert. Oh, on Friday. Ooh, I go. Ooh, Tracy, going on Friday. You go on Friday. I thought you already went. Well, good luck anyway. Rob, send me your address. Ooh. To the ching sound of the eBay seller. Third time lucky, man. Third time's the charm. I'm expecting to get a recorded delivery, to be fair. According to the poem, I should be getting a recorded delivery. But saying that, there are other people that, could be getting recorded delivery. So if you're in the Chase community, maybe you get recorded delivery. No, strike you out. That's not the way to think, Greg. Third time's a charm. Ooh, I still have your prize, Luli. I still treasure it. It brings a little warmth to my heart when I see him. Uh-oh. In the dark. YouTube's telling me I'm live. That's nice of them. That's very nice of them. Thanks. I'm live. All far as I can see the world. Yes. Yeah, I think I've seen more of the world than I would have done if it weren't for the chase. Certainly America. I know more about America than I know about England. Which is weird. Very weird. Very, very weird. So for those that missed it, the poem says, if I could ask you to go and watch the movie Outlaws with Wesley Snipes. Why can't I say Wesley Snipes? And Jason Statham. And it says that it's Solve related, or poem related at least, but Solve related it says. So, I wonder what that was about. I read it, I saw it, but and I've told people, it's about the chaos theory and that, but you make your own mind up. What you think? Why there's a reason why, from out of the poem, Forrest says go watch it. I don't know. Phil will tell you it's a MJ, you a seller. What do you know about that video, Mario, that was supposed to have come out on the... What do you know about it? I don't know anything about it other than it came out and it was talking about this person that people know in the chase, that Daryl, and the people, Peter Frick, his views. I was expecting, to be fair, an interview with Forrest, an interview with the person, not just him talking about it. But the fact that he's with Onion, is interesting. But in the poem, it's quite easy to believe that where it says, from there it's no place for the meek, that could be the Forrest video. Because F for Forrest and ROM for a type of, 5-leaf will tell you, informational technology, aren't they, 5-leaf? Them ROMs, ROM. So there might be a Forrest ROM. And in that place in the poem, it says proof and truth. So there may be information on a ROM that tells you about the Forrest Fenn chase. And it's not written down anywhere, which means he could have spoke it, or he could have done it on a video, or he could have typed it. It's not written down. So, people want to believe what they want to believe, but they don't think, what if? What if he said it's not written down anywhere because he spoke it into a dictaphone, or he put it on a tape recorder, he put it on a video, or... Greg, I was looking at you laying that whole area fabled to have Spanish treasures. Whee! Vintage recording equipment and maybe a... Oh, come here, you can have loads of old stuff. Was Mario talking about a movie? Yes, I was talking about Outlaws with Wesley Snipes and Jason Statham. It says in the poem that we should go watch it. I think my understanding, having watched it, is that it's talking about chaos theory and that. And nothing is as it seems and those sort of things. And you'll see as the plot, thickens, why he's talking about it. It's funny how you're looking at the elephant in the room. That's how I know when people are involved, they ignore the blatant lies. No, we don't ignore them. Well, I don't know if other people understand them, but I understand them. Most of them. But they're not relevant. The thrill of the chase was about solving a poem, not finding if a person is lying or not. Solve the poem, and that'll tell you if a person is lying or not. There's no need for an elephant in the room. There's absolutely no need for it. None at all. Not one reason, especially for a Christian person. Why would a Christian person do something like that? It don't make sense. Shy guy, dude, you're very important in this. Well, the first thing you need to think about is there are a few people, many people, some people, and they all live in the same state, so close together. That's a bit weird, considering there was 300,000 people in the chase. There's probably not many left. 2 of them are definitely outside the states. And the people that are left, there's a fair chunk of them in the same place. Have to wonder, don't you? And then the other people, are in other places together. And the solver and other people are in that place together. So when you think about it, there's 52 states in America. There's probably not even 52 people left in the chase that, talk. And yet, somehow, they've managed to be in the same location. Is there something in the water that says you have to be a through the chase community member? Son, bitch, 80 acres. Well done, Greg. I couldn't afford to own 8 acres. I got 40 acres and you got 43. I got a brand new combine harvester. It doesn't matter. These words, read my lips. Nothing is as it seems. To make something happen, you maybe embellish, you maybe tell a half-truth, and you maybe have words that don't mean what you think they do. And if you put all that together, solve the poem. I'll give you but Linda. Yeah, but even that, this person that says they're Christian is going around, discrediting someone and showing pictures of them dead. I don't get it. Yep, there is a Linda blocking me. Why? I don't know what that means. Get your search complete and don't worry about me. Thanks, Lee. Black Sunday. Oh. Has it changed? I thought there's 52 states. Or am I going the wrong way? Ticket is right. I lie. I'm a liar. I'm a sinner. I'm broken. I am a bad man. No, I don't hate you. I just think it's predicted and scripted. You have to ask yourself this, though. How is it that I'm giving you information ahead of time? It's not my information. I don't know it. But I'm telling you about something that potentially starts in February. I told you about a video that was going to come out about Peter Frick ahead of time. I told you about a Powerball lottery ahead of time. I told you other stuff ahead of time. How am I doing that? If you're not wondering how I'm doing it, I don't know. The Melpa saying are not where the lost digging treasure was. It's around where I'm at, southwest New Mexico, and I have mining claims that begin to. People are into treasure, aren't they? Greg is a liar. I have every text message since we started communicating in June 2021. He should be worried about my messages going public. And again, what has that got to do with the chase? And how living a righteous life does threatening somebody with information be part of the chase? It's beyond me. It really is beyond me. I don't get it. So we don't need to hate you, Frank. God's will. Just got slapped there, Frank. If you're doing bad, God will sort you out. Let's see. God will forgive. So you're a sinner who believes in God, and you know that God's going to forgive you, so you just keep sinning. Okay. He forgives until it's time for you to go to meet him. Then he says, go fuck yourself. It is, then I am mistaken completely. I don't know what that means. It is, then I'm mistaken completely. He changed his ways. Dudes, we all fucked up, man. Just get along and hate me for solving. I don't need to hate you for solving. The person that did this, I don't know if Forrest wanted it solved or not, but the person that solved it is irrelevant. I don't get why people can't see it. Forrest is going to make it happen. Whatever he found, which is made, whatever he found, he's going to make happen. And he's making it happen with the aid of someone who can keep a secret. What has that to do with the solver? It's got nothing to do with the solver. It's got nothing to do with the solver. I don't know if a solver is supposed to exist. Forrest was going to make it happen. Anybody finding a chest does not make this happen. Trust me. If I've said anything that you want to trust me in this. You, anybody, finding a chest did not make this happen. No way. No way. Oh, look at that chocolate. Oh. How do you know what any god does or does not do, Shark? I don't get why people fall out. They're supposed to be talking about FORREST FENN and the amazing abilities that he has. Not the flaws that everybody else have. I'm fond of you too. Thank you, sir. Good man, Greg. He's got the right idea. Night fishing, night fishing. I'm sorry, no, wrong one. I must say that I did enjoy the Barbie doll video, Frank. Don't even know that. Mind your name, Frank. They sell fill stick dynamite to anyone mining. Impact drill, you blast holes, drop your fill stick and yell, fall and run. Mario, people will have a stroke if the solver is revealed. Mark my words. Yeah, some may have more than that. I think when this comes to a beginning of the end, sit down. That's all I can say. Sit down, take a deep breath, and relax. A bit like Enya. Seriously, sit down, take a deep breath, and relax. Have a nice cup of coffee and some smelling salts just in case, and somebody on hand to waft it under your nose. Oh dear. All right. A spiritual awakening. It isn't fire in the hole anymore. Leave place. Well, I don't think it matters anymore. Just run. Yes, trying my best this year on a spiritual journey, even so negative stuff. Not one of them will be able to say, I always believed. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Dynamite. There you go. 5-leaf. When you go to your location, you can take some dynamite. Dino. OD. By way of the dinosaur. OD. I'm stroking to the east, stroking to the west, stroking to the woman that I like best. Is that a song? I believe Solver told Forrest he was going to make everyone hate him. I'm not sure that was the case. I think Forrest realized that everyone's going to hate Forrest because of the solve. No, because of the find. So Forrest knew he was going to take flack, and he told everybody in the video that, with Dal, and said, they had to drain the pond, and said, think nice thoughts. So I know that part of it. I don't think the solver would have said that. Although, to be fair, he could have done in a video. Whoever the solver is. I thought 4 was to warn golfers. Yeah. No. They don't need to say it. It's not many times, but they do say it when you watch the golf championships. And they start going into the crowd. Anyway, what is this video that Troy says? You're murdering Fenn and his son. I don't know. Don't know, Shy Guy. Even that, Chase Inc. or Real World, it's nothing to do with the solve. Well, I think the real solver has come forward. I just think people don't listen. I believe you're wrong, Shy Guy, but then again, you want to find solver. Fire in the hole. I'm on a ton of cross rock. Well, good luck in those escapades. It's all because of Caddyshack, so. No, they do say 4. They absolutely do say it. Sounds like a win-win for the solve. Listen, I don't think the solver bothers one way or the other. I think people put too much emphasis on the solver. This is not about a solve. This is not about somebody solving it. Whilst it is, this is about somebody making it happen. This is really about somebody making it happen. And I mean really about somebody making it happen. Because without that person, it doesn't happen. I don't think you understand. I don't think you realise. Forrest was going to make it happen. If somebody solved it, he guided that person to it. And that could have been anyone in the chase community. If you picked the right solve, if you went for the right lure, you solve it. If you didn't, you end up in a net with the rest of them, saying you solved it, but don't know why you haven't got any information, don't know what the information is, waiting for Shiloh, saying you're the solver, and you don't know nothing that's going on. But I think if you solved it, you know exactly what's going on and why you're where you are, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say to everybody, chill. It's not finished. It's not finished. Nothing you can do, nothing you can say. The shouting, the screaming, the threatening, going to court, suing people won't make any difference. It'll cost you a lot of money and it'll make you look stupid, but it won't make any difference. Absolutely won't make any difference. None at all. Do that. I suppose. I don't know why people fall out. I just don't. Good on you, Greg. I'll give a glimpse of what Solver will do. Already infected Chase Gov. All will be forced to understand who Solver is. To get that. Who do you think is the real solver? Is it male or female? So firstly, the solver and the finder for me was Forrest. He managed to find something and solve something. He found something and solved something. He was going to make it happen, and that was his solution, and that was his quest, and you followed in that quest. So what he made happen may be what this is all about. And the solver is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. People forget. The reason this started was Ralph Lauren. That's the reason this started. If I can't take it with me, then I'm not going to go. Now, all the information in the chase that we have are any part of some. Fly me to the moon, part of some. And that's how the chase works. There's a little bit of truth in everything that people say. Now, you can believe that 30, 40, 50 people have one idea that solved this poem. Or you can believe that somebody has all the answers to one poem. It's impossible to have 30, 40 different answers to a solution if there's only one answer to that solution. And the fact that you argue with somebody else that your solution is better than theirs means it can't be the right one. Because if it was the right one, they just go, oh shit, yeah. You're supposed to think, I don't know, where your brains are. Why didn't I think of that? That's what you're supposed to think. Every solve that has been given, I don't see anybody say, no, why didn't I think of that? Yeah, it's yours. No. Forrest gave you all the information you need and nobody's listening. I don't get it. Just keep going and you win. Win, 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 win. Wisdom winner. Flexing. I only need to be right one time. Exactly, Greg. And that's the same for the person who solved the poem. You need to be correct one time, but I know what you're saying. If you're correct one time, that's it. That's all you need. But you have to be correct one time by knowing that all the other times you were incorrect. I did a video about Forrest putting everything below there, and he put the solve below there. And from there is where the real solver should be, where all the solves are, different solves, lots of different solves. But under there that Forrest went, he went alone. If you look underneath it at where and old, you're alone. You went alone. You went in your own solve. You didn't go with Forrest. You went alone in there like he did, but you got lost and he didn't. And then where the solve is that's been put in below alone and below there are two solves. There's a possibility of two solves. You have one, but there's another one you missed. It's that simple. No shortcuts, remember? Nice one, Tim. Yeah, that goes for me as well. Well, gotta run, everyone. Watch a movie. You got to watch Outlaws, Greg. That's what Forrest said in the poem. But enjoy the movie anyway. And you have a great week. All good, man. Sunday live location. If I'm awake. Greg, are you in the mountains? Are you in Mancos, Greg? There he is living his life. He's gone. There he is gone. I think Greg is in yeah, not going to do that. Right, impact. Might as well just say Shangri-La. Yeah, he's a dancing queen by the look of it. Dancing, dancing, dancing. He's a dancing machine. 5-leaf blade. Billy the Kid was run into a secret place over in that area. Yeah, Billy the Kid's in the poem. Having a shootout with Pat Garrett at Fort Sumner. Fort Sumner. Yeah, he's in the poem. The hanging tree's in the poem. Other stuff. But it was said that he didn't die. Like Pat Garrett was supposed to have shot Billy the Kid, killed him, supposed to be buried in the fort. But it was said that he didn't really die. He didn't really kill him. Nothing is as it seems. On the road to Shambhala. That's like, hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me. Two fat parsons, click. It is, isn't it? You talk about Ian Dew in the Blockheads. Well, that's what I'm thinking anyway. I'm reading that. I'm thinking Ian Dew in the Blockheads. So this was about a month, if INFJ is still here. It's about February. It's about Craig. It's about watching a movie called Outlaws. It's about the solve that is under there. If you only have one solve, you went there alone with the possibility of another one. And if you went from there, you had loads of solves, which is the quest, which has a story, which has the history in the Southwest, and all of those things. I thought you could say two Two fat passes. Click, click, click. Two great tunes. do, do, do. Tune. They separate tunes. On the road to Mandalay. Over hills and far away. But not too far to walk. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, the 1 foot on the other is part of Too Far to Walk, The Home of Brown, and For the Meek. That's 3 foot. That's how far you go. 3 foot. You go 3 foot. 1 foot on the other. 3 foot. Read it. You don't have to do much to find that. Read, see them foot, 3 of them, in that area, and then read on the other. Read 1 foot on the other in that area. And Forrest will just give you some information again. How to solve the poem. Nicky Swan, Geronimo, and other great hard assets also had hold up in these hills. I don't even think Russians and Chinese combined could take these hills. Ooh. Yeah, but nowadays they just nuke it, wouldn't they? Craig's Land in kinda near Tucumcari, spelled Tucumcari. Ooh, ooh, Are you singing songs, Tig, or is it just me? I don't know what that went. Can't remember what it is. I thought this land was in the volcano near Albuquerque. Ooh, and the giant kettles, and the caldera, Oof. And the alluvian soil, or something that Forrest talked about. I don't get why people won't believe that, when Forrest says it's in Wyoming, why they have to try and say that it's not there. It's like, why don't you believe when the person tells you it's in Wyoming? So they'll say, well, Wyoming means this. So they're prepared to then say, because it doesn't suit their soul, that Forrest uses words that you don't think mean what they do. And then everything else, they use it literal. But because it helps them in their soul, they'll change it. And that's everybody in the chase. They want to change it to fit their way of thinking or to fit their answer. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Use Walla Walla Bing Bang. Ooh, Walla Walla Bing Bang. I don't think it went like ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just went north of Tucumcari. Ding dang. Oh yeah, we did that. I know Ramalama Ding Dang. And I know Ding a Ling. Oh, could be ringing some bells at Ding Dang. Even that statement. I think the bell has been rang, or a bell has been rang. So I think that could mean something. I meant, ooh, laugh out loud. Wasn't that the witch doctor, I think? Witch doctor? Oh, the witch doctor. Oh, what's up with that as well? Shardo talking about a doctor and Street talking about a doctor. Oh, it was a bit cruel, actually. He put out a video saying, I see stupid people. I left a comment saying, stop looking in the mirror then. I couldn't help myself. Cancer patients ring a bell after chemotherapy. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, they do. But, excuse me, but wouldn't you think that the cancer is a spot? And if it comes back and you get that spot again, but if you clear it and you ring a bell, But he did say, you know, if I was past this veil and you wish to please my ghost, then smile and forgive a sinner. Who is the sinner? Is that the necessary evil? Forgive the necessary evil and smile at a homely girl? Is he telling you to forgive the person that was doing not what it seemed? Useless. Stick, broken, a stick. That's all that says. A stick. Now I call it useless. Craig wanted his papers. 1,000 points to David B. Oh, come on. He's an Australian. You can't allow him to enter a competition like that. What's brilliant? Oh, no, I don't want to answer that. Is that the stick that was in the chest, Davey? Was it a boomerang that didn't come back? It's amazing what you can learn from on probate court websites, or not learn. I have to believe, I'm being serious now, I have to believe that probate is coming downhill. It's coming downhill. And I have to believe, because Ben said he would, he's going to go weekly with his show. So hopefully when he goes on his show, he might even have a stoof.com update. That might not be a red herring. Might do, might not. Was it just a stick and not a stick key? Not a stick. It was a boomerang. Wouldn't that be fun if there was a boomerang in the chest? A boomerang and a key. That wouldn't make any sense at all. Although, Forrest could have put it in there to make the chest come back. So, boomerang. I don't know. Sometimes I say some stupid things and do some stupid things. I have to admit that. So in the poem, let's get this out of the way. Might as well. In the poem, Forrest says, read me this, or read this, and you will something or other. If you go one way. But if you go the other way, he says, read this, it's game over. And that changes history in the Southwest. Or his story in the Southwest. But it's definitely in the Southwest. In the poem. On the map. So, is that statement just poem related? Or is that statement factual? If you know the place, if you know the piece, if you know why there's history there, I think it is. Have to do with the Rocky Mountains. But there is a Southwest, and there is peace. Maybe the chest had wheels. Deals on wheels. Do you see one? I think Street was getting at my I speak to ghosts. Thanks, MJ. I appreciate that. But again, I stress, nothing that I have done has come from me. I took my bias out of the equation and I trusted somebody to tell me the answers. And the answers I got are the answers that I'm giving you, or the information that I'm giving you. And I didn't have to think of anything. I just followed somebody else. I just followed what was given to me. There was, it obviously wasn't easy because until you get used to it, and even when you do it, you think, no, this can't be right. No, he couldn't have known this. Forrest could not have known this before 2010 or onwards. There is no way he can know this. And then the things happen, and you think, well, he knows it, but how does he know it? Is he making it happen as we go along, or did he know it's going to happen anyway? And then I talk about all the people in the poem that are in the chase, and I think, well, he could have give them those names. But then I think of my name, and I think, well, he didn't give me my name. Doesn't give me Davy B's name. Well, as far as I know, Davy B's a searcher like me. So maybe these people don't know they're in that poem. Maybe Forrest put them in there. Maybe they have no idea. Maybe he's manipulating them, no, maneuvering them to do what he needs. It was supposed to be a weapon, wasn't it? But as far as I know. Do you need gloves? Are you talking to me? Do you need gloves? If you talk to me, yes, in the sense that you can use gloves in the poem as the word, finding the word, which is the gloves are in the solve that you people have, where the solve is. That's why you need gloves. In the video that I did, I talked about loves. You know, the word said loves, but it doesn't say solve. Now, if you look at gloves, that's just loves with the G. If you take off the G and you have a solve. And then to get a G, you have a 7, which is Peggy. So you can get Peggy. And Peggy and Forrest will take the fork in the road together, which is in the same place as the solve that you have on the inside of the map. So Fenn is next to Brown. So Forrest is at the home of Brown, the B. And Fenn goes down, Peggy goes up, they meet in the fork, and then you see the word fork, where walk is together, is the rest of it underneath. Road is just underneath there. It's all in the poem, but it doesn't take much working out. Just telling you everything that's in the poem, you find it in the poem, and you know you're getting good information. 13-year-old kid saved his sister from a stranger with a slingshot. I don't know what reference that is. That's pretty good. Gloves not necessarily YouTube videos on the subject. So they definitely come in handy. But the hair, Mario. I did the video that I did that I was just talking to you about has the word hair in it. When you watch, so which part is it in? It's in watch. Watch the. So it's in watch movie. What? Oh, and the R's just on its own. So, oh no, the R's in trope, but it's where movie is. So the hair is in movie, and the word the and the A is in watch. So A is in watch, H is in the, I is in movie, and R is just on its own where the trove is. So the hair goes from the chest to the trove. In this statement that I just gave you about go watch the movie. But the hair, no, you'll find out about the hair. I think gloves based on input to your hands upon return. Well, if Forrest said, did the hot water affect the patina, one would assume that there's hot water there. And be a good idea to wear gloves. But, maybe not. Oh, you talk about that? I thought you were talking about the poem gloves. Forrest said you need gloves. Like a torpedo. Don't know what that means either. Thanks for clearing my head on. See you in a bit, Luli. I think, therefore I am. No, I want to be like Gerard Butler in Olympus. Has fallen. Oh, that was a good film. Who are you? Even that. Even that. If that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what does. And can you guess my name? If not for my name, I would have nothing. It's like, come on, it doesn't take a rocket science to work at. Well, no, rocket science is easier now. Quantum mechanics now. No, I want to be. Oh, I read that. Who's though? I found. Yeah, but you don't want to say those things, do you? Or shouldn't say those things. Mario, who's Tigger? Well, if I look in the poem here, if you look there, you'll probably see Tigger. I think most people have names that are in the poem. Whether they chose them or whether Forrest knew them, I don't know. I mean, there is a person who has an alias, and it's mentioned in the poem that they actually have an alias in their name. So in 2010, when you started the chase, excuse me, you wouldn't know who this person was because they weren't in the chase in 2010. But about 2013, 14, whatever, they would have come into the chase under an alias, and you would have known who they were. That's crazy. For Forrest to know that information. So did Forrest make up the person's name and the alias? Is the person's name real and they just have an alias? But how did Forrest know the two together? It's just crazy. We know who. If you don't know who Tigger is, there's something wrong. So say who you are. Tigger's a fun. Yeah. Oh, did somebody say even I know who Tigger is? Hi, Wilfred. I don't know why you retracted that, but Secret Agent Man 007. Oh, don't worry, I'll find out. But you see that I don't get why it's important to know who. The whole point of this was to solve a poem that a man named Major Forrest Fenn wrote years ago in order that he could make something happen. And you are so far from worrying about what that poem is now. And you are just, as it says in the poem, and as I was, telling people, and they were getting upset, you're up the creek without a paddle, and you're waiting for answers. And yet, if you spend as much time solving the poem as you do, chasing rainbows and chasing rabbit holes and chasing, I don't know, fairies, it's just crazy. It's like, even if you find out the information, it doesn't get you any nearer to having answers, because even if you find them, they won't tell you what the answer is. If they know what the answer is, they won't tell you. All good, Wilfred? Finkel is. I know. Saying stuff shouldn't be saying. Well, yeah. I don't know if they are saying stuff that they shouldn't be saying. There's a time. There's time-sensitive data in the chase. And there's a place in the chase that could be damaged if information gets out. But I think most people putting out the information know that, and they wouldn't put out, any information that was going to have a negative. Well, I don't think so anyway. Have a negative impact unless it's, I hear a lot of people upsetting people. That's wrong. But, saying something that's going to affect the chase, I don't think that whose hair it is should be said. I don't think that should be said. Not yet, because it could have legal implications. That's just my thoughts. You know, there are certain people out there who like to go to court over certain things. And whilst the poem has information, I think this would be the wrong domain to use that information. But I could be wrong. Tigger, how many words are in the poem? Well, if you believe Troy and Trusted and everyone else, there's only 166. But I can tell you now, there aren't. What's the name of the movie to watch? Outlaws, with Wesley Snipes and Jason Statham. And it's about nothing is as it seems, funnily enough. But obviously Forrest knew that there was a connection, otherwise he wouldn't put it in the poem for me to discuss with you. Looking at the poem, it says, "Go watch the movie Outlaws." But then the word "go" is attached to the word "solve" that everybody has, and then underneath that it says that you've all gone AWOL. Oh, and something else it says, in a different solve, or what it leaves for you when it says that you've gone AWOL, it says "Quovi." What does that stand for? Where are you going? It's funny. I think it's funny what Forrest was doing. No wonder he was having fun. So he's basically said, "Where are you going? Go AWOL." Oh, no, sorry. Where are you going? Gone AWOL. Which to me says this is the wrong solve. So he started it with "there" on the top. He put "alone" underneath, where hint of Richard New and Old and "where" is. Then you have your solve, where "go in peace" and "quest to cease" is. And then underneath that it says "go AWOL." But then, going the other way, he says "go watch the movie Outlaws." I saw someone say Tigger is candy. Yes, somebody did say that, but I saw one that said pirate was Ben. People who looked up my name and store found the bomb and decided to stay far away. Your name, Five Leaf. You think Forrest didn't know or didn't put it in there? Hello, MG. You cool. I am just stuck in the Southwest. His story. Why are you stuck? You can find it in the Southwest. You can see the history. If not for my name, you would have nothing. If he's in the history and it's done, and game over in that area, and I'm trying to do the other stuff that I found in there. I don't know which bit you're referring to, so there's plenty of stuff down there. There's certainly a name down there. There's certainly Forrest down there. There is certainly 2 Fs, 4 Fs down there. Give a Castlemaine 4F. I'm not kidding you when I say there's an encyclopedia of information in there. And I mean, it even says the remains hidden here. The treasure remains hidden here. And where that is. And that's crazy, but it's true. You don't have to believe it. People, I don't know. Hello, pirate. 20,000 words. Yes, something like that, Tigger. I didn't count them. But even the fact that Forrest said he wrote it so small, doesn't that mean fine print? Doesn't that mean copyright or something like that? You know, wrote so small. Did you read the fine print? Is that why you can't read it? Is it because Forrest made something happen and you couldn't read it until that something happened? But when that something happens, then it's okay to read it because it is going to get read. 100%. It is going to get read and people are going to go, what? So, like I say, sit down when the information comes. Have a nice cup of coffee, some smelling salts. Fun fact, today I saw a personal license plate. Don't know what that means. Oh, Candy Girl. Does Dave realize he has made the same videos for free play? Yeah, I haven't watched. I've got to be honest, I don't watch many of Dave's videos. Candy is involved with chasing. Well, she did say that. Hi, Robert, by the way. But she did say, the Druids. She has tried to tell you about school. She has tried to tell you about a chest. She has tried to tell you about knowledge. She has tried to tell you about blue tablets. She has tried to tell you about. I don't think it's important stuff, but she has given you a background of, what the treasure chest could be about. And again, though, having said that, it's not about that chest. Which is weird, really, because of all the effort that he went through to talk about it. It's weird. I don't understand why people don't listen to Indy. I absolutely don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they mock her. I don't understand why they don't listen to her. I don't know. Don't know. Yeah, she has provided a lot of information. I researched it all. And it's good information, Frank. It's, excuse me, I don't say that it's the answer. And I can't say if it is or it isn't. But nothing that India says is not true, is not in some way related to the chase, and could be, the catalyst, could be the Medici. She's talked about the Medici. She's talked about the Knights Templar. She's talked about 7 Cities of Gold. Ovid. Going back, that fire bloke that she talked about. I can't remember his name now. The German bloke. All sorts of stuff. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. I had gone down many of the rabbit holes she did over 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, I mean, you call them a rabbit hole because they don't find a chest or give you the answer. But it's good information to have. No. Was the answer, but a little from many parts will make a whole. Yes. None of this. But that's exactly what I say about Everybody Solve. Forrest tells you, and in the poem, under his there are lots of souls. Under your there are 2. But if there's 40 people with a little bit of something, then it might add up to something. But you don't want to share it and say, well, actually, this bit could connect to this bit, and this bit connects to this bit, and this bit connects to this bit, and this is in the poem. If the poem didn't tell you what the answer was, then your answer can't be correct. But the problem is, the poem gives you the information to find an answer. But you have to get the answer from Forrest, or from the person who can keep a secret. But you have to get it from the 9 clues. What if there's only one clue in the poem? What if there is only one clue in the poem? What if that clue is 9 clues? One clue in the poem, and the clue is 9 clues. Follow my 9 clues precisely. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying, what if there's only one clue? That one clue can help you with the rest of it. But then Forrest says, your first clue is begin it where warm waters hold. So take the 9 clues and take it to begin it where warm waters hold, to understand the first clue, where it says first. The word first comes from of, riches, and then go up. So you get F-R-I, of riches, and then S and T. So you have your first. Do you have your first move? Do you have your first hint? Do you have your first clue? Yeah, I don't think it's difficult to try and work it out, but Captain's log, stardate 5724. Even that, the warp and the Enterprise and all those things, even the end game, X marks the spot, entity, all set up by Chase to tell you something. It doesn't matter that it's rabbit hole information. It's just information that helps you understand where you are. Oh, you old pirate. Captain Tigger is needed on the bridge. Troubadour were history's first verbal poets. Sings the stories outside Native Americans. There you go. And it helps you understand where you are in the chase. Even a poet, Ovid the poet. A poem is a book. You know what I mean? A poem is a book. They weren't just little verses like this. They were books. They were, long, loads of word books. A lot of those times, society was completely different. Forrest encouraged everybody to go to the Library of Congress and leave their story there. Do you think that Forrest's story is at the Library of Congress? Because it's important to the story. Do you think that something is at the Library of Congress involving the chase? John the Baptist. When I met Trusted years ago online, he said I'm a genius. 2 months ago, he said I'm FBI. I think the man is brilliant. Yes, I don't disagree. I do not disagree. But very stubborn and unwilling to listen. Being brilliant doesn't mean you get the answers. It just means you get a answer. The part of being brilliant is being able to listen. Yum, cookies and cream. Forrest said somebody was a genius. When they disappeared. Doesn't make them that much of a genius then, does it? Was it Smell the Sunshine, Matt? A genius. Didn't solve the poem. I'm not knocking Matt. I'm just saying. Get called a genius and you're not around. MHE. I believe he's a genius as well, but didn't solve the poem. Maybe we weren't supposed to. Maybe he was just there to help us. But, an English major. Forrest was a major who studied in English. You need to be an English major. I don't know. Words don't mean what you think they do. I don't know. An English major. Oh dear. You don't need specialised information, but you need to be an English major. What are you being told there? I just don't get it. Show the poem to a child, you need to be an English major. What? You need to know about punctuation and adverbs and adjectives and pronouns and how this reflects with this. What? Are you serious? Some child is not going to know that ever. Well, not ever, but not as a child. not the child that Forrest is talking about. So I don't get what you're saying. I don't get if you're just playing the game or you believe what you believe. The information you're given, I don't care who you are, whatever solve you have, the information you're given is to tell you your solve is incorrect, so you have another turn, you have another go. If you don't want to believe the information that Forrest gives you, then you shouldn't enter the chase. Because if you do it on your own, you are going to fail. You are going to fail. There's no two ways about it. If you did this poem on your own and didn't listen to Forrest, you were going to fail. And he said something about failure, but I can't remember what it was. And who do you want working on your car? Someone who's done it for 4 years or someone who's studied it for 4 years? I've been in the poem 4 years. Does it talk about me? I've been in the poem 4 years. Who would you want working on that poem? Me or you? Be honest. I've been in the poem 4 years. I know that poem inside out. Who would you rather have? You with one cipher or me with every solve that you can get? You need all of them. The key word is solve. You need all of them. One of them won't take you there. The key word is solve. Is there a word in the poem that is key? The word key is there. It is quickly down. And if you go up from the quickly down, you get yes. And you get is, and you get there. Is there a key word in the poem? Yes. Forrest says, I wish I never said the word yes. So you go from a word that is key, a word that is key, that's the word, a word that is key. The fact that he said yes tells you it's a solve. When you look in that area of the poem, you can get lots of solves, including sonnets, including other words. Look in there. I'm not kidding you. Look in the poem. Is there a word that is key? What are you being told? You're told the word's key. The word is key. Is there a word that is key? Yes, the word is key. That is the word you're looking for to help you in the poem. And the word yes, which Forrest wished he never said, is the word that gives you the word solve. And if you look in the area of the poem, where it is there, he's give all the solves. But if you look under there, where he went alone in there, beneath that is alone. You went there alone, you only had 2 solves at the most. You went from there, you had lots of solves, because from there is his footprint. To me, it's simple. It's difficult, but it makes sense. It's normal. What you're listening to, what you're hearing. Heater line, it's been bothering. Listening to it. What's that? No, it's just then told us stream of thing. I thought we were talking about mine. This hasn't been Forrest gig for years now. It hasn't even been Chase Girls in the last. Absolutely it is. It still is. It still is. It hasn't happened yet. Can I make this happiness? Happiness. Oh yeah, happiness is a pot. Can I make this happen? It was all about Forrest gig. Until it happens, it's all about Forrest gig. Nothing you can say will change that. Until it happens, it's all about, can I make it happen? It's as simple as that. My awareness took its first step in the poem to a place where even memory has not been in the poem. So read it and find answers. It's on page 15, telling you, can I make it happen? And my first awareness, ding, light bulb. Oh, look, light bulb, advertising. I'm advertising to you. Here's your first step, 1 foot on the other. I don't get how difficult that is. I do not get how difficult that is to take the hints from the book that will help you with the words, the clues in the poem. I do not get how difficult that is. He put 1 foot on the other. It's wrote in the poem. He took his first step to awareness. It's in the poem. A light bulb moment is an aha moment. It's in the poem. When you find those things, you find Major Forrest Burke Fenn, his full name. And when you find it, he, Major Forrest Burke Fenn, said to everyone, listen, that's the information you get. Wow, that's shocking. How did you get all that information just by taking your first step? Where your awareness took its first step. Because your awareness is coming to you from Major Forrest Burke Fenn, which is the home of Brown. And drawing nigh, the I is Major. The I in Ing, no, the I in nigh is Fenn. The I in peace is Forest. The I in Oh, I can't see it. Oh, I'm too high. The I in quickly is Burke. Excuse me. It was a game of chase. Find me. That's all it was. Find me. Find me. Hide and seek. Find me. It was a game of chase. The thrill of the chase. Come find me. I dare you to find me. I'm going to throw myself on that chest. I'm going to dare you to find me. If you find me, it's game over. I don't understand how difficult you think it is. It's the thrill of the chase. Come find me. Play games with me. I've played Scrabble with him. I've played chess with him. I've played canasta with him. Played all sort of games with Forrest in there. But the game you're supposed to play is find him. That's all you're supposed to do, not find a chest. Find Major Forrest Burke Fenn. Find him. He will lead you there. He will tell you what the answers are if you follow in the footprint. What better way to follow in the footprint than to be a shadow? You're never going to lose him. You're always going to find him because you're in his footprint. That's where the shadow ends, at his footprint. You can't lose him. I don't get it. I don't get it. This has been Forrest's gig. It's always his gig. It will always be his gig. In years into the future, it will be his gig, in which he should get the Nobel Prize for. Just don't get it. Don't. Thanks, Pirate. What was a great one? Didn't you get the program? Oh, David B. Yeah. Didn't you get the program? Forrest said, if you don't have a program, how will you know what's going to happen? Here is the program. Read it. It tells you what's coming next. Keeping your freedom and feel of independence. I said that too, Mario. Thanks, Leaf. Oh. Come on, I'm kidding. The only promise I ever made in a chase was verbal textual debate about science. Okay, good man. I'm not angry. I'm not anything. I think it's funny. My frustration is vented. If there is any real searchers listening to what's going on, I must screw them over. I'm not here for me, and I'm not here for the BS, the scripted stuff. I'm here for Forrest. There's a reason why this was done. And there's a reason why I'm reading what I'm reading. So I'm trying to say to people, chill, everything's okay. I'm trying to say to whoever's in charge, I know what's happening. I know what's happening. You know, I know what's going to happen. I can see a plan. I don't know why the plan is the way that it is, but it's there. So you have to go along with it. If the plan changes, I'll probably see. Shadows don't leave. No, you're walking in forests. There are no footprints for you. Well, you know, literature as well, not just Prize for Peace. But this poem is better than the Rosetta Stone by, you know, to the moon and back. It's too much. I want to take Mary on a camping trip so we can talk all night by the fire. I don't know whether that's a compliment or an insult. Oh dear. Mary, you think I'm an actor? No, I don't think anybody listens to me. I really don't. And I say the same to Davey. It does not matter to me whether you are acting. This is FORREST FENN making it happen. If you are acting, it will happen. If you're not acting, it will happen. I only draw the line when people go too far. You know, going into somebody's private life to me is too far. It's too far. There's no need for it in the chase. Whether you're acting or not, there's no need for it. Putting on YouTube videos of a dead person is too far. Even if it's acting. Even if it's Jace Gov. I know there's information supposed to be coming out, but it's too far. You should just say, I have information about this, this, and this. If you want to see that information as proof, I will give you pictures. So the information is out there, but you don't need to see those pictures and have that image in your mind. Not just of FORREST FENN, but anybody who's lost anybody that sees that sort of picture doesn't need it in their head. So it doesn't matter whether you're acting or not. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I have no opinion of it. And I try to say, when we discuss stuff, I try to say to David, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me who said what. I don't care. FORREST will make it happen. When it happens, everyone will be known. Everything will be known. And all will be good. And FORREST should get his award, his accolade, his asterisk, whatever it is, however it was supposed to end for him. That's it. That's it. And when that happens, happy days. And if I'm not the solver, I don't care. If I was bothered about being the solver, I would have said something 4 years ago. So even if I'm not the solver, I don't care. If I am the solver, I don't care. I don't care. And I don't want to worry about whether you're an actor or not an actor. So I don't care. I'm in the poem, and the poem says I have an evil plot. Did you find my plot? It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. Whatever's scripted, whatever I see here on YouTube, whatever I see there, it doesn't matter. There's another plot coming up, which is more important than your plot, Frank. Way more important. Unless you're that person. Unless you're that person in the plot that is hiding behind the scenes, that thinks they're right. Unless you're that person. I don't think you're that person. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's nothing anyone can do, scripted or otherwise, that will change this ending. Nothing. Unless somebody screws it up. Is faking your life too far? Is faking your entire life too far? Too far for who? For you? Or for somebody who wants to make something happen? I'm getting close to best man. Good night, Tig. I didn't know you were going, but thanks. Was he especially? Again, that it doesn't matter. I don't, whilst I see stuff in the poem that talks about scary shit, it don't interest me. It don't interest me. It's got nothing to do with the chase. It's got nothing to do with what FORREST FENN did. The history of it is irrelevant. The future of it, changing the future, affecting the future, whatever the statement is. Fuck. Yeah, that interests me. But anything that he did, if he was DB Cooper, he would be able to keep nothing, absolutely zilch, nothing of what he is talking about. Because the government would seize it. It's illegal money that it started with. Everything would be gone. So if he was, that can never come out. But everyone's talking about it like it's okay to talk about it, and Forrest Fenn is it. If that came out, if he really was DB Cooper, and you lot stitched him up by saying, well, I think he's DB Cooper, and this is why I think he's DB Cooper, then he's left with nothing. You've just took it all off him. Because you put the government onto him that it was DB Cooper, and they said, right, well, it was ill-gotten gains, and everything's ours now. What? Are you crazy people? Or are you just, scripting it? It doesn't matter to me. I don't, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. Shy Guy, it's good you told Mario so he can now find it in the poem of forces. Yeah, I'm not going to find. It does not bother me because it doesn't have an impact. There is a situation where this person named Major Forrest Burke Fenn has somebody else who can keep a secret if he is dead or if they are dead. That's it. That's it. Anything else that is scripted here or scripted there is scripted. Your plot. If you admit your plot is scripted, why do I need to find it in the poem? It ain't going to make no difference. It's not going to make any difference. If the fact that you put that video out is written in the poem, it doesn't make any difference. It still makes it too far, which is what I just said. Even if it's scripted, it's too far. 007 or 009. Not leaving. Who's not leaving? Yeah, but you don't even know what the reality is because you think that this is a shit show. It's not. It's a well-planned maneuver that is going the way that it's supposed to go. This is not a shit show. This is far from a shit show. In our opinion. We could be wrong. We could be reading it wrong and it's gone all tits up. And I and David B, like you, will be waiting for the next 6 years for things to happen. But I don't believe that. And I'll give you information today that I didn't really want to give, but I think needs to be given. When that happens, you'll still say, no, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Maybe he was an agent for a control. Well, he had Q clearance, so that, I don't know why everyone's trying to work stuff out. If he's got Q clearance, he's not, run-of-the-mill Joe, is he? He's not hiding anything from you. If you've got Q clearance, making it happen was going to happen, even if it was not solved. Exactly. Arguing that he's a solver makes zero. It's like when Street was arguing with Barbara. One of them was saying they were the finder, and the other one was saying they were the solver. You've got two different arguments. Just agree. Okay, you're the finder, I'm the solver. That's it. End of. But they're arguing. Well, I'm the finder, I'm the finder. No, you're not, I'm the solver. What? It's two different arguments. Why are you even arguing that? Why are you even arguing that? And that's how the chase has become. It's like you're arguing stuff that don't make sense. Anything that anybody does in the chase does not affect what happens in the chase. They don't affect it unless it's totally directed at the spot. If that's the case, then it may damage it. But other than that, no. So, Greg going out looking, Street falling out with Bill, Ben falling out with K-Pro, has no relevance. Zero relevance. There may be information in there, but relevant to the chase ending in the correct manner? No, don't. Hey, up, we're going 005. Yeah, 5 for 5. That'd be good. Tigger's 006. 000. You are not a shit show. I'd pay to see this. This like Chase Ouija. Is there anybody there? Oh, I've got a call coming in on my shoot. You must be very flexible, Tigger. Hang on a minute. Hello? Oh no. It's supposed to be on your watch or something, you know what I mean? Not on you. Maxwell Smart is in the house. That was a great show. Embroidery MJ. Oblique Psychic Ops. Just call us Ops for short. Use the beats with messages. You don't need a can opener, you just need a knife. Actually, it's a flip flop. Ah, that's a funny thing you should say that. Forrest said that. He talked about, actually, he did talk about like the dog chewed ears and like the sardines on the floor getting past them and that. Just makes me laugh. You know, when me and Davey talk, and he watches more than I've told you before, he watches videos more than I do. And he tells me about them and he says what's happening. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm really interested in that because it's not relevant. I'm just keeping you up to date. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but they're going through the motions. And it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Absolutely weird. I could understand if nobody knew what was going on. But if Forrest has manoeuvred all you people in chat to a point where you don't know what's going on, but you're giving that information, that's weird. That's weird. You know, that just shows the caliber of the person. If he's managing to get you to say stuff that has information in it, it's not going to change anything. It just helps you understand where you are. But if he can get people to do that without them knowing, that's scary. You need a lava lamp. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I did have one, but it's blown. To be honest, I'm trying to be quiet and dark because everyone's asleep. Don't make me send you a lot. I did have one. It was nice, but it's an oil lamp you're talking about. Well, no, I lie. It wasn't a lava lamp. It had reflective pieces in it, and then like the bottom of a Christmas tree, the colours that go around. It had that, so the colours would change, and then all the sparkly bits in the bit that went up and down and around would be all different colours. No can opener work anymore, pirate. Well, as long as there's no worms in there, we'll be okay. Don't want to open a can of worms. They've all become the #1 built-in defect item. Tigger, sir, what do you mean? Mood lights and plants. If anyone really believes this is a shit show, I'm here to tell you it's not. And if you don't believe it's a shit show, stop bloody saying it is. I need some colour here, let alone behind me. See, it's all right for you. You can see the real picture. I've got a pink screen, so I see me pink. Everything's pink. Everything's pink. Like these emojis, I can't see Luli's or MJ either, so I have no idea what that is. I can see the laughy face from MJ's. but I can't see the one underneath. I'm brown, am I? Oh, the Homer brown. Are you trying to sound shit? Pink. Yeah, I've got a pink screen. Computer's not very good. I've got a computer over there that doesn't have a camera, which is an all-in-one, and I love it to death. But the camera doesn't work. And then I've got a computer here that's a camera, but it's hard work. And like I say, this front of the screen's pink. About a quarter of it at the top is not. So I can see the top normal, but then the rest has got like a pink covering on it. So I've got my mood lights. I've got a pink screen. Can't you tell? Except for the red light on the TV. Yeah, the red light on the TV. No one is listening. Hey, Amy. Yeah, I think I was saying that a few times. No one is listening. I think hopefully maybe when they see that I asked, well, not I asked them, Forrest asked them to go watch the movie Outlaws, they might see something in that. This is scary. If it was predicted that Forrest could make me look into the poem, find him, find information, tell you, and make this thing happen. That's scary. Absolutely scary. I'll admit I'm scared about it. I'll admit it freaks me out. You know, this is like when you see the first bit, you just, oh, that's coincidental. You know, that's weird. Then it happens again and again and again. And then you see the stuff that's in the book, that's in the poem. And then you see stuff that's going to happen. And I mean happen. It's not you think it's going to happen. It happens. And like I say, there's a date coming up that something's going to happen. And I mean happen. This is the important part of the chase. This is, you know, something's going to happen. And it's something that wasn't, you know, I wasn't expecting someone to challenge Forrest. I wasn't expecting that. Hi, Amy. Ops is always listening to the chase. Can you see? Fun fact 2. The Guinness World Record for drinking a drink pouch from begin to end equals 19 seconds. Does it include the passing out? Don't do that, Tigger. Please don't do that, because then Bill will come on. And we'll get the out of your cold dead hand speech. Okay, I might have to go get one. Taking straw out of plastic, sticking it in the pouch, and drinking complete 19 seconds. My record, 22 seconds. It's not something that I wish to try, so good luck, Zozo. I hope you beat that record. We see you in the Guinness Book of Records. I've crossed room temperature 11 juice pouch. Oh dear. Davey's going to the pub now. I don't know if I could even lift that up anymore, let alone drink it. 22 seconds seems too shady, Zozo. 22? It just seems shady, 22. Do you do that there too? People do it, yeah. I don't do it. Sure you have, Lee. The next world record calling. Is that real 22 seconds, or are you just throwing 22 out there? Lava, 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 lava. I tell you, you know, well, I don't mind anyway. I'm not keeping it a secret, but like some people ask me questions or make statements, and I just totally blank them because I want to tell them something. but I think it'll be too much. There are some things that I feel could still have an effect on what's going to happen. FORREST making it happen. Nothing to do with the solve or anything, just FORREST making it happen. And I don't want to say anything that may stop that. And again, I could be wrong. But some things, have to be said at some time. And like now, if it says in there, if people are saying they can't read the poem, which is what they're saying, and I don't care whether they can or they can't. And sometimes I don't put information out because I believe that some people can, and I don't need to put the information out. And sometimes I think, well, it's too much of an obvious statement in the poem for me not to do it. It obviously needs to be done and said. So, and I believe that once you realise that things aren't what you think they are, and when you see the ending, something was made happen without anybody being aware of it. No one aware of it. Somebody got away with something because they made it happen. Simple as that. Oh, I don't want to read that. Order one online, Lily, and have it sent. I'm still waiting for a recorded delivery, which you said in the poem. I don't know what that's about. And the new computer, yeah. Well, Paul was going to get me a new computer. I don't know what happened there. Well, actually, Paul was supposed to be giving us $100,000. Don't know what happened there either. I hate beer. It interferes with my cybernetic internet. Oh dear. eBay UK. Sometimes I suck, sometimes I never. I think we all do. With $5 in your hand. See, there's another thing. Those statements. If you die with more than $50 in your pocket, you are a failure. What is that telling you? It's saying something absolutely specific, absolutely precise. Even my costs will make it a profit. It's like, if you're real searchers, if you are real searchers, and I'm only talking to real searchers, if there are any, who are still looking for answers. It's like, come on. I always wanted to make payroll. I'd buy a painting off you, and then, in a year or two, or whatever the statement is, I'll buy it back off you for the same price. And you'll make it a profit. Or they both be happy, or whatever the statement is. It's like, come on. You talk about this AI. Is she real? Like, is it actually in human form? Or is it just you're on the computer doing it? Or do you have your own AI? Constant buffering now, so satellites out of you doing the ricochet. I need to pick me up. Well, I don't know how to help you with that one. Well, I think it's... Oh, look, it's 2:42. Well, who'd have thunk? It's 2:04 to walk. That's a bit coincidental. I was just going to say I was getting late now. Nearly 3 o'clock, and it's 2:42. So Davey must be 10:42. The record was originally set in 2021 by British man Declan Evans, who drank a Capri Sun in 1665. Second, it was broken later the same year by Racalius shopkeeper. 5 makes no difference to me. Remember, I live in a car. I own nothing but a phone and my freedom. Who finished her beverage pouch in 1571 seconds? That I do not know. It saw the pictures containing the cipher, then I fed it to Morgan laters last night. Purple, and I thought it could figure out the rest. I don't get it, 5 Leaf, I don't. You're telling me that you did this cipher with your human brain, and now you're asking artificial intelligence to prove that a human brain needed an AI to confirm what it did? It makes sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. I'm sure others think the same thing. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's in answer to, Amy. All you need is a poem and TTOTC. That's it. Yeah, like I said, Forrest said everything was in the poem. I never had TTOTC. And I think that's what saved me. Because I only had the poem, so I had to work it out from the poem. I had the poem and the chat, but at that point in time, Forrest said, use the vlog for entertainment. So I only saw it as, well, they're not going to tell me nothing, so I don't use it. But later on, I thought, hang on, entertainment means, for use. You entertain something, you use it. So there was a point in time when I thought, hang on a minute, these people talking here, they're saying stuff they shouldn't know. Or, stuff that I thought they shouldn't know. So they must know something about something. And those names seem to change, Little Rock and Geonut and whatever. Yes, it's on 5 Leaf's Facebook. Digger, ever do chicken and waffles? I have not. Caught salmon. Oof. What are these people eating? And it's quarter 3 in the morning. It's really all that smart. It would know the poem is 3-dimensional. Well, I think I did I know I did. I did a video about Rubik cubes. That poem is more than you think it is. Colitis, Tim, Queen, Troy, me, are 5 of the people that I know of. There are others, I'm sure. And we look at the poem differently and get different information. Well, I say we look at it differently. I look at it every way, but you can do it differently and get different information, which is good information. And it's a positive solution. Now, you factor in 5 doing the ciphers. Trying to think of someone else who did something, but I can't think of the names. So it doesn't matter. But, you get the Super Mario solve. You get the Superman solve. There is no way that all those different solves are coincidental. So they must have been put there, which makes them a lure, which makes them not the answer. If you have these solves, one after the other, and they're totally different, and lead you to totally different places, it has to be wrong. Because you can't have 30, 40, 50 solves. That's impossible. So each solve has been put in by the author for somebody to find, and they found it. And they went alone with that solve. And I'm 100% in that thinking, because Troy said he thinks Forrest gave Sam the try the wheel under a different name or whatever it was, and 3 of them worked on that solve. Now, if that solve was perfect, then all 3 of them should have got the same answer, Because once you do the perfect grammar, it means from that point, the solve is perfect, and it should lead to one spot. And it didn't. And they couldn't agree where to go. So therefore, how does that solve become the correct solve? If 3 different people want 3 different answers, it doesn't. And that's the same for all the solves. But isn't it a sandwich? A sandwich is a pudding. I agree with David B. AI can't solve. I agree with David B. that AI can't solve it. But Five Belief isn't saying it solved it. He's saying it's confirmed that it's most likely the solve that is in the Thrill of the Chase. But it will do because he hasn't put all the information in. And that's not being horrible. I'm just saying, if you haven't put my solve in and David B's solve in, then how does AI know what the solve to the poem is? You've only put your information in. So AI doesn't know what the solve is. It only knows that your solve is the best so far, in its opinion. Doesn't make it correct. It doesn't make it correct. And like I said, if 1 million people agree with you, or 1 billion people agree with you, or 5 billion people agree with you, does not make it correct. It may make you money, but it don't make it correct. So until you put Shy Guy's information in, until you put Street's information in, until you put Trusted's information in, until you put Troy's information in, AI does not have a comparison of which solve to choose. So it says, the information you've given me about this cipher is good information, and I think that could have done it. Of course it is. That's the only information it's got. It can't choose a solve that hasn't been given to it. How is that possible? It doesn't know about Troy's solve. It doesn't know about Trusted solve. It doesn't know about Street solve. It doesn't know about Frank's solve. It doesn't know about anybody's solve. So how can it choose a different solve? It doesn't know about them. It doesn't know because they're all different. You haven't put the parameters in. You haven't given it an option to choose something different. And I heard it that I was probably sure something that did it. And that kind of fun. And the story more like an open face with waffles. Just plug in bangers and mash into the Actually, hang on, let me put bangers and match. I think that might be there now you said it. I don't know about the jig. Unfortunately, yes. Well, I say unfortunately, I love them all, KFCs and the McDonald's and that. Wimpy didn't go down too well, but still over here. AI has no boots. Hello, single barrel silo. Single barrel silo. 1 chest. 1 treasure trove. One treasure trove. Come on, single barrel, let me know. Is it 1 treasure trove? I like doing those things. So what I'll do now is I'll look in the poem and see if the single barrel silos there. Mary, you're like the fan whispering you need lava lamp. I know you told me something. I can't acknowledge the fact that you said lava lamp. It's not going to happen. Last night I thought easily AI can solve it. In fact, any of you go your soul in and post results, it will ask you for the rules. Exactly. The rules are the clues. So those good clues go to the top and the not so good clues go to the bottom. Because that's what Forrest said. If he had a rule that got better, he would move it up the list. So I'm getting cabin fever already and I want to go fly fishing all summer. Davey will be with you there, I think. Yeah, he's done the woohoo. Black Sabbath fairies wear boots. I searched in 3 states. Yeah, I was everywhere, Luli. Obviously I didn't go everywhere, but the poem can take you depending on the method you use anywhere because it's that vague. And as good as the solve you use to interpret it, it'll still take you anywhere. But in all of that searching, you are searching. That's the problem. You're searching. So the first rule is there's no searching. Your solve takes you to the spot. You know where it is, and you're going to go and get it. That's it. That's it. So you have to have a solve that takes you straight to it with no searching. That's your first rule. If you can't do that, your solve can't be right, because that's what Forrest said. If I told you the home of Brown, you go right straight to it. What are you worried about? What are you worried about warm water salt for if you know the home of Brown? If you know the home of Brown, why are you worried about the blaze? So those, the two important things that you thought you needed are less important than the home of Brown. How does that work? Because Forrest said, if you don't have where warm waters halt, you have nothing. What? Hang on. I can go right straight to it if I have the home of Brown, which is not warm waters halt. Or is it? Or is it? If you don't know warm waters halt, you have nothing. But if you know the home of Brown, you can go right to it. So I'll go right to the home of Brown. But my first clue is warm waters. Home of Brown, warm waters. Home of Brown, warm waters. Same? Hang on. Even if it is the same, I need a blaze. Because the blaze has to be where the chest is. So if the home of Brown and warm waters are the same, and the home of Brown is where the chest is, and the blaze has to be in the same place. So now, Forrest told me that I've got warm waters, home of Brown, and a blaze. What? Then Forrest said, if you go past the first two clues, you've gone past the chest. Then Forrest said, the little girl from India can't get closer than the first two clues. Then Forrest said, if you solve the first two clues, it's academic. Then Forrest said, blah, 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 blah. If that doesn't tell you what the answer is, I have no idea what you are drinking. I don't. How to step from the clue to the next. You must be specific. You don't need to be. Forrest said, don't stay on the trail. What is specific about that? I don't break the rules, but I sure as hell bend them. What's specific about that? He is specific. He is precise in how to do it. He gives you the clues in everything that he says and in the book. And you take the hints, sorry, not clues, hints. And you take the hints from the book to the poem to help you with the clues. There's your information. That is all you need. You have the poem where the poem tells you what you need to do, but you have the book that says, actually, you know what? You're right. What you're thinking is correct, because here you are, here's some other information. Follow 9 clues. You have your information. There's your info. That's all the information you need. All the information you need. All of it. That's all the information you need. Follow the 9 clues in my poem will lead to the end of my rainbow and the treasure. What clue is that? What hint is that? We. W-E-E. End of my rainbow. And the treasure. W-E-E. Following the 9 clues. If you follow the 9 clues, what do you get? You get W-E-E. How do you get that, Mario? Well, you follow the 9 clues. That's how you get that. How much more specific can you be? If you follow the 9 clues, you get the end of the rainbow. How much more specific can you be? It's right in the first stanza. All of it's in the first stanza. He gave you Jack to talk about bias, which is A equals 1, if 9 equals I. How much more information do you need? Put that into AI. See what AI says. If 9 equals I and 8 equals 1, put that into AI. See what it says. It might not say it's a solve to the poem, because AI has no imagination. But when AI does have imagination, I can assure you, if an AI gets to the level of FORREST FENN, I can assure you it'll say, 5, your cipher is not as good as what this person did. Not me, FORREST. I can assure you of that. When AI gets to the level of FORREST FENN, when it gets to that level, it will say, 5, your cipher is not as good as what FORREST FENN did. I can assure you of that. Without doubt. Not even a smidgen of that. Nothing. Nothing. I can assure you, nothing. There is nothing. There is not the slightest bit of doubt in my mind when AI gets to the level of what FORREST FENN did. No. I don't know how he did it. The answer to the Homer Brown is in the live chat today, but I'm sorry I cannot point it out for any of you. What? Don't then. Don't. Is it that picture? I know that house. I recognise that tree. He should have put one on his cook. It's the most intense thing ever for me. It knew more than I do, and it did it in seconds. That's what I said about you, 5. It did it in seconds. Took seconds of your time to take his life. It took seconds. Spicy in a glass of cold milk is an eye-opener. If AI reads all the chat from every FORREST FENN video, it might have a half-decent idea. Yeah, but that's that's exactly what I'm saying. AI hasn't got all the information, so it's always going to give the wrong answer. Has to, because it hasn't got all the information. Whilst it might be the best answer, it doesn't make it the correct answer. I am not searching. I am not looking for answers. I think I have all the answers I need about the FORREST FENN poem. Now, that's not to say, should something that I have not seen turn up out of the blue, that I may need to go searching. But I feel we're at a point now where there may be some silly people who want to go to court and contest things. I don't think it's going to be an issue. If you follow the highway east in America, you have a point north. Do not need to. Davey said the same thing. If you take Interstate 80, Interstate 80. Very interesting, Interstate 80. GTT read or chase 7 months ago. GTP saw or chase images this month. The website has blocked inquiry by way of its filing system. Five. There are 20, 30 people out there, maybe more, that have solves to the FORREST FENN poem. You need to. If you want it to be correct in the answer that it gives you, you need all of them. You need mine and Davies. You need Trusted and Street, Troy. You need all of them. You need to put all of them into AI. Not only do you need to put the solves in, you need to put in how those solves came about. That's what you need to do. Anything that you say regarding AI has no relevance because you don't have all the information. That's not saying your solve is wrong. That's saying your method of getting a correct answer will not happen until you do that. It won't. I'm not being awkward. I'm just saying that's the truth. That's the truth. If I don't tell AI its multiplication table further than 2 times 2, what's the best answer you're going to get? If your answer is 4, what is the answer that you're going to get? You get the answer of 4 because it doesn't know any other answer. Even if you asked it what 5 times 5 was and your answer was 4, your answer would be 4. It doesn't know 5 times 5. It knows 4. 2 times 2 is 4. You give it the answer of 25. No, you give it the answer of 4 to a statement of 5 times 5, and it'll say the best answer it can come up with is 4. It doesn't know 25. You didn't put it in there. The best answer it'll come up with is 4 because that's the best answer it's got. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. Put in the relevant information, you'll get a different answer. Don't tell the AI it's 4 when it should be working out 5 times 5. I don't get what you're trying to say. Even if it's scripted, I don't get what you're trying to say. It doesn't work. Hey, Woody. Didn't see you come in. Good evening. How are you doing? I've just seen it now. All good. I'm going in a minute. Sorry. It's 5 minutes past 3 o'clock in the morning. You won't find video transcripts are best. Well, my mouth's on fire. Rob McQuaid. Buddy Walk, how are you? Oh, doing the Buffalo style. What's up? Hey, Hercules. Fence debaters. Oh, fence debaters. I prefer fen debaters, but there you go. Open a screen and prove it about AI. Open a screen and prove it about AI. I mean, we're all right here. What? I can't open the screen. Hey, Robert, don't you mean that's all you will find? Cruel. Anyway, so in summary, you need to have all the souls. One of them might take you there. A keyword in the poem. Keyword, maybe solve. But Forrest said one of them won't take you there. You need all of them, which is no different potentially than Bible verses, head pressures, etc. Won't lead you to the treasure, but offered as good solutions. So you need all the souls that are under the footprint, that are under there. Under there, on the other side of the map, is alone. So Forrest is pretty much saying if you went alone, the best you could do is 2 souls. But obviously you've only got 1. But there's a possibility for 2. He's saying that you went AWOL if you went there alone. You went absent without leave. You weren't following him. You looked round and you weren't there. So you were gone. He put Quo V in there as part of one solve to say that, where are you going? Because that's what that stands for. And at this moment in time, you are all shouting fraud and up a creek without a paddle and waiting for answers. He told you or asked me to point out that part of the solve would be to go and watch the movie Outlaws. And that will give you something to think about. There's history in the Southwest. There's Forest Quest on the left-hand side with the story, with the solve. That's under the footprint. I think that is all she wrote. Oh, and if Craig's watching, you found nothing. Don't put it to the test. You've been caught out. I think that'll do. Pretty much what's... I don't think there's anything else there. So, soon. Maybe February. Maybe probate will have a decision. Or Kelly may, do something about the Forrest Fenn probate. Something happening at the beginning of next month. I think that'll do. Oh, Kid California. Oh, Kid Cool. I don't know what that means. Yeah, reminds me from second grade. I'm telling you, when you put in what Forrest Fenn did to AI, it'll probably break it. It'll probably break it. That'll be news in itself. AI broken by Forrest Fenn. Just see smoke coming out. Oh dear. I'd like us all to stream. Biggest AI chase debunkers and myself plan on it unless we need to waste more. What year was the movie Outlaws made? Do you want me to look in the poem now? Don't know offhand the 5-leaf. Probably 2010. The chase came out. I don't think Forrest had anything to do with it, but I don't know. You never know with Forrest. You never know. Absolutely never know. And that's something else, just to finish the summary. You don't even know when Forrest is talking about. If this is predicted by Forrest, anything that he said to you in the chase, if he said something in 2010, he could have been talking about something in 2017. You don't know. Or someone. You don't know. The information he was giving you in the poem is predicting future events. So the information he was giving you in the early years could be talking about a future event, a future person. And he made the statement, I can't remember what the statement is now, but he talked about, 500 years later. What? What do you mean 500 years later? How can it be 500 years later, Forrest, unless you went 500 years into the future? So was that I'm talking about something now, but I'm telling you about it in the future. It doesn't mean now, it means in a few years. I think if Forrest were alive and wanted to return to, he'd contact Solver. No, I think Forrest knows. If Forrest is alive, I think he's fully aware of what the Solver knows and wouldn't need to contact the Solver until something has a chase. Outlaws, I go there every Thanksgiving. Eternity is a tall tale, Blaze. But as for a metaphor to time, however, so I'm glad you asked him. That one over my head. Wasn't that a TA movie? I don't know what TA stands for, but it was Wesley Snipes and Jason Statham, detective and thief. Don't know what. To me, TA is Territorial Army. I don't know what TA stands for you. Wise people were attempted to humble the Solver. The Solver opened the narrow redemption hole that no jump through. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Crashed and burned. Yeah. But that's another thing, Forrest is going to destroy something. Just like FF stands for Forest Fire. It's going to burn the house down. He is going to destroy. He's going to destroy it. Only to make it good, though. TNA. I still don't know what TNA is. Time and eat. Oh, it's got a broken frat. Mayday, mayday. Forrest is doing this alone, says in the poem that he will do this. He will do it. And he will achieve. I don't know if he's doing it for greatness. I don't know if he's doing it for. This is me talking now. This is not the poem talking now. I don't know if he's doing it for greatness. I don't know if it's. Well, my assumption and my deduction is that he's doing it to help out his country that is in a shit state. And he's doing it to help out the people that he fought and, potentially could have died for. And he's doing it to take it with him. That's it. But he is doing it, whether you like it or not. No. Not Tits and Arse. It wasn't a Tits and Arse movie. Damn computer. In Hollywood, they like to reinvent you. You are guaranteed success if you humble yourself in a dystopic role. Right, I'll remember that. If ever I go to Hollywood, get a role in a film. For me, The Forest is the forest, the poem. I am Forrest. And he even states that he's honest, and the honesty in it is where you all are, that he's being honest about what's happening. But the poem is honest, it's factual, and it's predicted. And I wouldn't say that if it wasn't. I've given you plenty of information beforehand that tells you about stuff, and I'll give you plenty of information after the event that tells you about stuff, so you can compare the two. So I gave you information about a video coming out, and it came out. I'm telling you something about February. That will happen. The 9th, it will happen. There is nothing that's going to stop it. It will happen. Unless a miracle happens. So Forrest is going to make this happen as he intended to, as he told us on page 15, which was our way in. That page 15 was our way in. If you didn't know what you should have known by following the 9 clues, that first step to your awareness, Major Forrest Burke fan in the poem. Once you found him, game over. Game over. You didn't need any ciphers. You didn't need any try the wheel. You didn't need... And don't forget, I did, a version of try the wheel, but I did try the heel. And mine said where the treasure lies is in the poem. Not try the wheel. It didn't say try the wheel. It did not say try the wheel. And I can get try the wheel doing it this way. It didn't say try the wheel. It says where the treasure lies is in my poem. Doing it the right way. You see, Warm Waters doesn't halt at T. It doesn't. It's a defining word, halt. So once you take treasures down the page, which he said you can't take down the canyon, but started with T and took it down, you do that word treasures with the word it, because that's the statement in the poem. If you want to read correct grammar, the correct grammar is begin it. The first word you got was the word that you use, not the last word. Begin it. If you don't have begin it, where Warm Waters halt, you have nothing. So you begin it, the word treasures, and you take it, the word treasures, down. And the reason you take the word treasures is because that's what you're looking for. That was your quest. You're looking for the treasures. But it's not halt. How could it be halt? It's impossible for it to be halt. If you use English. If you use English the way that you say you're supposed to, the first thing you're told, begin it and take it. It's talking about the same thing. It's not talking about halt, which is way down there somewhere. It's talking about the word it. Begin it and take it down in the canyon. Not begin it and take halt down in the canyon. If you use English, you shout and scream. You shout and scream. You have a vague answer that says try the wheel. What? Which wheel? Any wheel. Any wheel will do. And make a solve, which is why 3 people couldn't agree. It's not correct. None of the solves are correct. None of them. They cannot be. You need the information from the poem to follow Forrest, to understand the 9 clues, to understand the correct solve. You don't begin halt. It's impossible. You're being told to begin it. Something must be obvious to you by now. Was Forrest talking to you, Troy? Was he telling you something must be obvious to you by now? Was he telling me something must be obvious to you by now? You don't use the word halt. Halt has nothing to do with it. The word it has something to do with it. Begin it and take it in the canyon down. Where'd you get halt from? Because somebody gave you that. Just a little bit of thought. Begin it and take it. That sounds better than begin it and take it in. Yeah, that sounds better than begin it where warm waters halt. Because warm waters halt is stating that warm waters does something. Or halt is just a comma. Begin it where warm waters, comma, and take it in the canyon down. So you see, I dispute solves because I read the information and try to work out what Forrest said. He did not say anything about using the word halt. He said use the word it. And with that word you get where the treasure lies is in my poem, following the 9 clues that you have because you begin it. I don't see anything that can be contested in that statement if you use English. I find it mind-boggling that someone is telling me that if I use English correctly, I am to use the word halt. What? What? I'm being told to use the word it in that line. Begin it. And in the next line, I'm told to use the word it again because I'm supposed to take it that has a T for the beginning of treasures and take it down the page. That's my understanding of English. And I'm English. And that's my understanding of it. Begin it and take it, which has a T. I get why, I don't get it. I don't. Makes me laugh. I like Forrest and the Silver Hollywood. How much cash do you want to be in the Silver story? And the correct solve will be the correct solve. Exactly. And it will be Forrest Fenn's answer, no one else's. 100% agree with that, Davey. Any answer that we have came from Forrest. Any answer that we have came from Forrest. Wrong or correct. So we were supposed to have those answers. He already knew them. He told us in the poem. The answers I already know. Here's your answer. Here's your answer. Here's your answer. Do you want to do one on sonnets? Here's yours. Do you want to do one on thought? Here's yours. Do you want to do one on try the wheel? Here's yours. Do you want a cipher solve? Here's yours. Do you want what sort of solve? Superman solve? Here's yours. And there are other solves. Weird, wonderful solves. Do you want a sliding trick solve? Here's yours. Fake. I like your camping idea and you don't even know what it is. Just don't drink the warm water. Voice of experience there. Especially yellow. I want to marry. Go camping with us. So that I can continue to talk. You said that before. Is this a bot? Elements. BAG. Yes. 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 No one's disputing. No one. No one. Oh, not forgetting the table of elements solved. Not forgetting. I don't know. There's been hundreds of them. I can't remember them all. Okay, back again. Well, unfortunately, Tigger, that, it's 22 minutes past. Oh, 22 again. God, all these things. Those elements are all in order to seem close to begin it and waters. Listen, I will not disagree with anybody's solve because I know they are possible. They will give you an answer, but that answer go straight to the Homer Brown, get it, for fuck's sake. That's what you're being told. Forget everything else. Go straight to the Homer Brown and get it. Forget everything else. Forget everything else. If you want to solve the poem, if you want to get a chest, have the book in your lap. Have the book in your lap. If you want to get a chest, go to the home of Brown. That's it. Go to the home of Brown. If you want to solve the poem, follow Forrest, find him, tag him, and say you're it. It's the thrill of the chase. The thrill of the chase. Chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me. I dare you to come find me. I dare you to come find me. It's simple. Go to the home of Brown, get a chest. If you're not going to the home of Brown to get a chest, no, not my words, Forrest. If you're not going to the home of Brown getting a chest, no. If you don't understand why Forrest said, I wish I could have lived to do the things I was attributed to, no, sorry, no. If you never followed Forrest around that poem, no. That's as simple as it is. I can't make it any simpler than that. Go to the home of Brown, get the chest. That's what Forrest said. That's all he said. Go to the home of Brown, get it. If you don't understand that epitaph, I can't help you. If you never followed in his footprints, I cannot help you. If you choose to believe there are 30, 40, 50, 60 people with an answer to the poem, and one of them is going to be correct, I can't help you. I don't know. I have no idea what you're listening to. I don't know. I agree. Everybody's got a great solve, and it's right. And Forrest put it there for you to have. He did. But he's telling you in the poem, you went AWOL. I keep giving you information that talks about where you are now in the chase. Where you are. You five, where you are. You are at Heavy Lows Water High. You're at the water high bit. You are up your creek without a paddle because you don't know where to turn with the information you have that nobody is listening to. When they either care about their solve that may be incorrect and they don't want to hear yours, or if they are in a position of power to tell you whether you're right or wrong, it's not what they want to hear because they said, don't tell me you found a chest. So you're up the creek without a paddle with nowhere to turn, and the end is ever drawing nigh. Now, if you look at it another way, at the poem, where you have the story, the solve, and the quest that is Forrest's, guess what it says? All that it says. What am I referring to? I'm referring to the end. The end. At one end, with all of those souls that you have, it's drawing nigh. At the other end, where you have a story and a quest and a solve, it's the end. Which one would you rather think has the true, correct solution? The one on the side where it's the end, or the one on the side where it's drawing nigh? Which one do you think logically is going to have the solve? The solve that is ever drawing nigh, or the solve that is at the end? It is not difficult. It's not difficult. I've explained how to read the poem. Read it and stop thinking you have the end. You don't have the end. You don't. If you have a chest, you don't have the end, because Forrest said, don't tell me you found a chest. It's not relevant to the solution. It's not relevant to the solve. It's not relevant to can I make it happen. You finding a chest does not make it happen for Forrest. Nobody finding a chest makes it happen for Forrest. That's not what he was doing. If he wanted somebody to find a chest, he could stick it in the middle of the road and make it happen. La, 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 la. What's that in the road? I'll stop and have a look. Oh, it's a chest. Oh, it's full of treasure. Oh, I wonder who did this crazy thing. Oh, FORREST FENN. I'll tell him I found a chest. He made it happen. Job done. He's telling you it's something more. In that statement, it's something more. It's not me putting a chest out there for somebody to find. Because if I want them to find it, they can find it. They can find it. Can I make it happen? Can I make it happen? Or can they make it happen? Finding a chest. Finding a chest was your goal, not his. He wanted to share in his. Oh, let's get started, folks. Tell you what, I don't need anything. Certain no one else will personate. No. You can do that, yes. But it won't change anything. I don't, are they paying you $5 to do this? This is just crazy. Your solve is great. Yep, you found a chest, and I agree. But nobody has to do anything. It's finished. 2020, it finished. For that chest. For that chest in 2020, it finished. It's gone. It's over. It's done. This is something different. This is something more. That chest is only in your dreams. It's gone. It's over. It's finished. You wait till the race is finished now. You did your bit. You ran around really quick. Didn't pay any attention to what the rules were. And you finished your race. But the person that is still running, FORREST FENN, is making it happen. Because it was his race. You ran the wrong race. It's that simple. I just don't get why you just go on and on. Trying to prove your solve. Trying to get everyone to agree won't make any difference. It was over in 2020 regarding the chest. Now, FORREST is making it happen. His chase, his quest that he asked you to join. Sharing that passion. Sharing his adventure. Go arrowhead hunting with him. Don't find your own arrowheads. Don't go where you want to go. Don't go where a 79 or 80-year-old man won't go. Don't go there. Go where I go. He's still racing. In his thrill of the chase. He is still chasing. You finished your chase. It finished. You finished. FORREST is still chasing. And we're sharing in that chase. We're sharing in that passion. So we are still chasing too. We're not looking for anything. We don't have to look for anything. FORREST is looking. And we were sharing what FORREST finds. Because guess what? It says in the poem, I give you title to the gold. You don't have to find anything. You don't have to do anything. You just have to let him give you it. There's nothing to do. You let him give you it. I don't see. Put in below the home of ground is a different place. You might have missed what I said earlier, Woody. So, if you go early, you'll see what I was saying about that. Did someone find him, Mario? I have a feeling somebody found him. I have a feeling somebody knows what there is to know. I have a feeling that he's going to make it happen. I have a feeling that the spot at some point will be taken care of and allowed to be accessed, knowing that it's his spot, because that's what he said. They go to this place without, a thought of me being there. How dare they? At some point, he won't mind that they do it. That's the feeling I get. There are no goalposts to be moved. You ran the wrong race. That's your fault for not listening. That's the whole statement. You didn't listen to the rules. You made your own rules up. You, Troy, Trusted, you made your own rules up and followed those rules, those strict rules that Forrest wouldn't use. You're trying to blame everybody else, but you're not looking at who did this. You did it. You all did your own solve. You made up your own solve and solved it. Can't blame nobody else. Lovely place, chase the forest reminds me of the dog that chases the... It reminds me of the dog that chases its tail. It's going round and round in circles. You're not going to catch your tail. And if you do, so what? It's your own tail. I don't know what you're thinking. It begs belief that you will argue simple logic. You will use strict cipher building technique that a child would never do in a million years over a simple game of chase. Just, it begs belief that you will do that. I don't get it. But then you argue the fact that you found a chest, which Forrest isn't bothered about. But you take Forrest out of the equation in your solve and say that it has to be correct, even though you take no notice of what he said and what I'm trying to remind you of. Go to the Homer Brown 5-leaf. Is your solve at the Homer Brown? No, I know it's not. I know it is not the Homer Brown. But that's exactly where Forrest said go to. Exactly. Precisely where he said go. Go straight to it. Go to the Homer Brown. All this other stuff that you're doing is irrelevant if you have the Homer Brown. I don't get what bit you don't understand about that. I don't get what bit you don't understand about that. That is as precise as you can get. If he was laying down a target for you, if he was laying down a target and said, go here, he said, if I told you the Homer Brown, you go right straight to it. Boom. Go to the Homer Brown. If you know the Homer Brown, why are you worried about Warm Waters Halt? Boom. Another marker. If you know the Homer Brown, why are you worried about the Blaze? Boom. Another marker. Solved the first two clues, went right by the chest. Boom. Another marker. Because the Homer Brown in most people's clues is after the first two clues, which means if the Homer Brown as a clue is a rule, the synonym is rule, and rules get better. He told you the Homer Brown was a really fucking great rule, a really good rule, the best rule. Go straight to it. So it goes up the list. He told you that. His pre-clues. It's like, I've told you this 100 times. And you still talk about AI and you still talk about other stuff. And if you're not paid, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. Let me see if I can find outlaws, pirates. Oh, for the love of crime, don't run through the solve list again. Don't need to. In that race, whether the rabbit I'm chasing gets fail cut and sits there till I'm done with tea. That was the turtle and the rabbit or the hare. Laugh out loud, what tea are we drinking? Need chamomile now. The Outlaws of Wesley Snipes and yes, there's loads of them. I did say Wesley Snipes and Jason Statham. So anybody look for the Outlaws film, because there's westerns and all sorts. It's Jason Statham and Wesley Snipes, and he's a detective. Jason Statham's a detective. Wesley Snipes is the thief. Thanks to the other actions created by Welsh results. That's what I believe. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I try and tell people, the simplicity of it, and I could be wrong. But if you say the same things over and over and again, it doesn't make you correct. I'm repeating what Forrest said. He's the person that gave us a chase. He is the person that should know the answers. And if he tells you go straight to the Homer Brown, if you don't listen, tough. But he marked the target and went boom, 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 go there. He marked it for you and gave you about 8, 10 different ways of saying, go to the Homer Brown. In those statements that he made, solve the first 2 clues, it's academic. Solve the first 2 clues, you're 50% there, metaphorically speaking. Little girl from India can't get closer than the first 2 clues. Solve the first 2 clues, walk right by the chest. How many clues have you got? 5. How many clues have you got? How many have you got? Solve the first 2 clues, walk right by the chest. How does that impact your solve? I know how it impacts your solve. Solve the first 2 clues, walk right by the chest. Go to the Homer Brown. How does that impact your solve? I know how it impacts your solve. It doesn't work. Scrap it. It doesn't work. It gets you an answer. 100% it gets you an answer. I agree 100% it gets you an answer. It gets you on the east side of the map where everybody else is in the net waiting for answers. That's it. And you will wait forever, because if the solver doesn't come forward and Forrest doesn't want to say, you will wait forever and Forrest will take it with him. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. You will wait forever. You will never know the answers. Ever. Ever. I can guarantee you that. As long as you stay with your own thoughts. If you go over to Forrest's thoughts, I'm pretty certain somebody as smart as you who just tries to listen to something different, I'm pretty certain it won't take you long to find out where you're going. I watch a lot of movies via OK, or I don't know. See, mushroom tea? What the? Pink Floyd, Anyway, I've got to go. I keep saying that, and then people say stuff, and I think, well, let me just do this. But yeah, if you want to, watch the film. If you don't want to, don't watch the film. But it's basically, an eye-opener about how the chase could be maneuvered. I don't want to say manipulated, but maneuvered in such a way that Forrest can make something happen without anybody knowing, and with people believing they know. Oh, they believe they know. They believe they know until they know they don't. And by then, it's too late. It's too late. It's done. And that's just it. We will get something. Because it says in the poem. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. We will get something because it says in the poem. We will definitely get an end, which is what I've just said to you. On my side of the poem, there is the end, where the solve is. On your side of the poem, there is ever drawing nigh. You're still waiting for answers. You're up a creek without a paddle, waiting for answers. You're on the wrong side of the map. You went your own way. He tells you, AWOL. Read it, 5. You're smart. Just give it a go. Just give it a go. Just give it a go. It won't take you a week. It won't take you a week to work out. Maybe. Anyway, I've got to go. Bank robbers? Yeah, bank robbers. Bank robbers. My daddy was a bank robber. Bank robbers. It's not about robbing bank. It's not. Forrest is not saying he robbed banks. It's just the concept of the film, how it evolves. A bit like the chase. How it evolves. How people believe one thing when something else has happened. How random events all come together to make sense, even though they don't make sense at the time. How you can talk to elephants and rocks. Like nothing is as it seems. 30 years ago, I don't know where someone is certain, not diminishing in the. It's over. There's nothing to fight for. You don't have to do anything. If you are the winner, when FORREST ends his race, you'll get something. It's that simple. FORREST is still chasing. He is still chasing. That's it. He's still chasing. That's what you need to understand. Will Swears is sharing his passion in his chase. He is still chasing, achieving what he needs to achieve. Or his vision is still being fulfilled through Shiloh, depending whichever way you look at it. But it's still going on now. And you will have to wait. You will have to wait. It's that simple. When it finishes for FORREST, it finishes for everybody. That's what you need to understand. Thanks, Lezo. All good. All good. I've got to go. It's getting late. Yes, I've got to go, Lulu. I'm trying to get gone. I really am. There's like Oceans 11, 12, and 13. Could be. Could be. Cheers, buddy. Thanks, Lulu. You too. Stay safe. Stay well. Don't do anything. Hey, Rob G. I wish you changed that Y on the end of your name. He's fishing until... Yes, he is. Exactly what he said. Till he closes that tackle box for the last time or whatever. CF5, all good, man. All good. You're a good man, really. Leave AI alone. Not doing... It's damaging your health. Cheers, Hercules. Thanks. To you too, Tigger. Cheers. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you being here. I honestly believe, not long. And, hopefully we'll all get to see each other. Peace. Ooh. All good. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for being here. 32 people. Thank you, lurkers. Thank you, everybody in chat. I can't name all of you, but, heartfelt thanks for you being here. Take care. Ciao for now.